All right, folks. Sorry, we just moved a light behind the computer, so it's not like it was like blinding me in the eyes a second ago. And then we got to go ahead and test to make sure this is all working, because it's kind of funny. Every time we don't test it, it doesn't work. You know, just the other day, Angela was doing a hangout in here by herself, which we'll get into in just a moment on why that was, and the sound was out for like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Cool. So now we know the sound is working. We know you can hear us. And we can see people pouring on left and right on a couple different Hangout pages we got going on here. And all right, so why are you here tonight? Well, the email that Angela put together today that invited you here, maybe someone else put together an email, posted something on one of the social networks and invited you here and said, hey, something big is coming in 5 days, right? Something huge is coming in 5 days, and that's what you're here to learn about. You're here to learn about how to take that something huge that's coming. You know, I mean, that's why we're all in the online business arenas, because we want to make money, right? You know, I mean, I know there's some people out there that get involved in a business opportunity or what have you, just to use the products, but they're not the ones that are listening to this kind of call, right? They're the ones that are literally using the product, and maybe once every month or two, someone says, hey, how did you get XYZ result, or what happened there, or how did you do that? And you're like, oh yeah, I just use this product here. But they're not the ones that are actually out there marketing and promoting all over Facebook, all over the social networks, all over the internet, all throughout, like they're doing offline marketing, whatever. They're not the ones that are doing this as potentially their primary income stream. Those of you that are here tonight listening to me, this is either already your primary income stream, or you're looking to make it your primary income stream, making money online, making money from home by selling people products and services that they're going to want to use, right? So we're going to get into that tonight, how you can literally make thousands and thousands of dollars with us this coming week. Like literally in 5 days, this thing is happening. We're going to lay out a game plan. We're going to tell you what everything's about. We're going to tell you the price points you have to look forward to, the commissions that you're going to be able to earn, as well as a few other awesome things. You know, we were going to share with you a surprise on Saturday when we did a hangout at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. The only thing was, if you were there, then you know. And thanks for all the wishes, everything, all the love and healing energy that everyone sent over. It was nothing. It was honestly, it was nothing like really major, because the chiropractor was able to fix it in one visit. But I know, like, years ago when I worked in the kitchen and the restaurant industry, I threw my back out working there, and it literally laid me out for like a week. You know, so luck. You know, very cool that this time it was able to get fixed in one fell swoop to the chiropractor. Now I'm going to continue to go. Don't worry, those of you that are out there like, you need to keep going. I'm going to go. But what happened was Friday, we woke up and we were like, hey, we're going to go out for Halloween tonight. You know, it was Halloween. It was a Friday. There were some good bands playing around town. And we were going to go out for Halloween. So we spent literally the morning, like, who's ever gone Halloween costume shopping, like the day of, last minute? Yeah,
there's like nothing left, and then you're trying to find a couple's costume, and there's like Batman and like Superwoman. And you're like, no, this isn't going to work.
So that's what we were doing. And, you know, basically we were out looking around. It took us, what, about 5 hours? Yeah. We were out for about 5 hours getting costumes, because we had to run to like 4 different costume stores, and then we had to run to like Joanne Fabrics, and then we were building things, and you know, it was a fun morning. We were looking forward to going out that night. We went out to play Frisbee, because believe it or not, folks, it was about, what, 60, 70 degrees here the last day of October, something crazy. It was super beautiful outside. I mean, I was walking around in flip-flops and shorts and a t-shirt, and we went out to play Frisbee, and I landed wrong on my back. Laid me out for like a day and a half there, until the next day we went to the chiropractor right after Angela got off of that hangout, and everything's better now, you know. So thank you all for the loving wishes, the healing energy and whatnot. But with that being said, we did tell you we were going to talk about something like we had a really exciting announcement for Saturday morning. And for those of you that have been around Angela and I for a little bit now, you know, we're constantly looking for ways to put more money in your pockets, right? And you know, here's the difference, you know, and we're not going to touch on exactly what this is right now. We'll touch on this a little bit later. Typically, when companies do stuff like this, it usually puts more money in the top person's pocket, like a ton more, but it doesn't actually allow the brand new person or the people that, just getting started, maybe bringing in like one person a month or one person a week or something of that nature, it doesn't really allow them to capitalize on it. So while it's exciting because they're like, hey, we're putting more money into the field. Well, I was involved in something not too long ago where they're like, hey, we're taking this thing, we're putting all this bonus together, we're putting more money into the field. Literally 5 people split up like $300,000. And even other top marketers didn't make any money. And I was like, well, that's not cool, And I've been involved in multiple different companies where stuff like that has happened, right? So what we're going to talk about here today is a way that we're going to put more money in everyone's pocket, or at least make it so that everyone has the ability to go out there by producing any results whatsoever and getting more money in your pocket, which is really exciting. So before we get into everything, or I don't know if you got anything to say, or if we just want to.
Yeah, I mean, I can go ahead and kind of kick it off, introduce us, and kind of really.
They don't even know who we are yet, do they?
I don't think you guys do. Some of you guys are on this hangout, and somebody sent you here, and you're like, who the heck are these 2 people just chilling out talking to me? Well, in case you don't know us already, my name's Angela Moore. This is my incredible boyfriend and business partner, Jordan Schultz. And about 90 days ago, we started what really has become a movement, in that we've helped literally thousands of people to earn. And with what we're going to be laying out here tonight, the really exciting part, among a million other exciting things, like Jordan said, we've got a really super cool, exciting announcement that nobody's heard about yet. But one of the really, really exciting things that's going to happen in 5 days is all the people that have made a little bit of money with us, or even, a few thousand or 10,000 or 20,000 with us. If you've made any kind of money with us before, the amount of money that they're going to make is going to exponentially increase. And the people that have never made any money before are going to have an opportunity to earn their very first, $400 or $3,298 online with literally doing no extra effort. But before we get into that, we should probably kind of start off here, in case you are brand new to us and you don't have any idea who we are, by giving you a little bit of background on how we got here. And then what we're going to do is lay out the game plan for you and tell you exactly what to do in order so that you can start capitalizing right now on what's about to happen in 5 days. Because I can promise you this, what we did 90 days ago was the biggest thing that this industry had ever seen. We brought 10,000 people into a brand new company that nobody had ever heard of inside of our first 3 weeks. No other company in the direct sales.
No pre-launch either, folks. Like, we didn't build up to this and say, hey, something big's coming forever, and then do a launch. A lot of companies out there, they'll get you going. Like, there's actually a company that I'm personally involved in right now, and I didn't get involved in it to market. Right? I got involved in it because it was something that would help me create, like, it was like, hey, this new thing's coming out. All you have to do is pay money here. And then once it launches, you do nothing and you get to earn money for life off of all the product sales. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. It's not going to sidetrack me, right? I learned about that 11 months ago. It's still not launched yet, right? But there's been hype going on for 11 months to this thing. And we didn't do that. Sorry for interrupting there. I think that's the most exciting part. People were sidelined.
The most exciting. Did it that way, right? So we went from 0 to 10,000 in 3 weeks. You're like, wow, that's incredible. You must have had big teams that you were launching to. You must have launched to a lot of your leader friends, 6- and 7-figure earners. You must have had a big influence in the industry when you launched. And here's the real truth. Jordan and I have had a big influence in this industry for quite a long time, and we could have launched exactly like that. Because that is exactly how every company to date, other than the Freedom Fighters Network, has actually got on the map. They become leaders in another company. They grow their name. They grow their influence. They get a bunch of friends around them, right, that are 6- and 7-figure earners that have big teams and big lists, and they come up with a new product or a new company, and they say, hey, check this thing out. This thing is really awesome. I think it's going to help you and your people to make a lot more money. And then what do? They send it off to their list, and the company just sort of spreads and goes viral if it's a cool idea and if it's a cool company and all that, right? Jordan and I could have launched it like that, but if you've known us at all for more than just the time that I'm talking to you here, and Jordan's been talking to you here in this hangout, you realize that what we're doing here is really not for the leader. Now, we appreciate the leaders and we love the leaders, and by doing what we're doing and how we're doing it, we're attracting a lot of leaders over here because they see a way for them to finally help their teams out. But our real mission in the beginning, and our mission continues to be this and will always be this, and it's to help the brand new marketer. It's to help the struggling marketer. The reason for that is because we watched our teams of over 1,000 personally sponsored people struggle. Literally, like a handful of people were succeeding after years and years of sponsoring like over 1,000 people personally between he and I. We had a lot of people that just, you know, they would go through the learning curve and they would do the steps that they were told, but they just wouldn't seem to figure it out. And so when we launched the Freedom Fighters Network, we wanted to do it in a way where it proved beyond the shadow of a doubt that a brand new person could do it. It proved that it didn't matter if you were a leader before. It didn't matter if you had a list. It didn't matter if you'd ever marketed before. It didn't matter if today was the first day that you got a computer and you just set it up 20 minutes before getting on the Hangout. It didn't matter where you were. You had just as good of a chance as anyone else that already had all those skills and all that experience to earn money on the internet. And so in the way that we launched the Freedom Fighters Network was we actually launched it to people that had never heard of Jordan and I before, right? We actually launched it to what's called cold traffic. Now, if you're brand new to this and you don't know what that is, or you might be, you know, on your 50th hangout with me and Jordan and be like, oh my gosh, I've heard the story a million times. Well, bear with us for just a moment because we wanted to make sure that all the new people understand, because the new people, if you're brand new, you are our focus, right? So traffic is website visitors. And there's two different types of traffic. There's warm traffic, which is basically traffic that's a little bit warmed up to you. They're more likely to buy because they've heard of you. They have a reason to kind of trust you. Maybe they can see your face on Facebook, things of that nature. And then there's cold traffic. What we wanted to do was actually create a system that worked with cold traffic, because it's scalable and a new person doesn't have to understand how to get it, because we can just go out there through all of our different resources and get it for you, right? Facebook traffic, Bing ads, you know, all these different things, whilst they work and they work very well, they're not for the brand new person. If a person is brand new, they have to figure out things in order to get those strategies to work. They have to understand conversion rates and headlines and how to write an ad and how to make a compelling lead capture page that stands out and all these different things, right? Whereas with cold traffic, if you knew that you could just get in something, right, put a little bit of money out, and then from that money, visitors landed on your lead capture page that were already interested in exactly what it is that you have to offer. And then from there, they were able to take action independent of you having to do anything other than simply get the traffic. That's what we wanted to create. And the only way that we could prove that this system actually worked to serve that purpose, which is what we created it for, was to actually launch it to that group of people. So whilst we could have launched it to, you know, our big teams and our leader friends and all these different people in our, you know, big marketing list, we could have done that. It wouldn't have proved anything for the brand new person, right? It wouldn't have proved that the brand new person could succeed. All it would prove is that all of the people that already trust, know, and like Jordan and I would join us. So what we did was we launched it to cold traffic. Within our first literally 60 hours of testing, right, we sponsored 188 people inside of the company. And then because the concept worked so well, what happened was literally over the course of the next 3 weeks, we brought in 10,000 people, 10,000 people from literally all different walks of life, many of which earned their first money online with us in their very first 7 days. See, once you get inside, I'm going to pass back to Jordan here in just a second because I know he's got some stuff to say too. I've been like the screen hog over here on the left.
Kind of chat with people sitting here. And
nice. So once you get inside, we've got 5 steps to follow. It's real simple, you know, and other things that you get started in, you know, you'll get started and they'll say it's really simple, and then you'll find yourself in this like maze of trainings and different things. And while we do have a lot of different trainings inside of the Freedom Fighters Network, you don't need to watch any of those in order to actually get started. And the reason why people actually have success here is because we don't overcomplicate it. I mean, even our site, as ugly as it still is, we will actually be getting it, you know, prettified here in a little while because it is pretty blank, but we did that on purpose. We're gonna have, you know, some fancier looking stuff and, you know, make it look cooler, but it's always gonna be exactly as simple as it is because it needs to be like not too much information. You know, has anybody here ever been on information overload? You ever feel like you get started in something and there's just too much to learn all at one time and you feel just kind of frozen and then you don't ever start it? What we wanted to prevent here is exactly that. So when you get started, there's 5 simple steps that you follow. They take less than an hour to go through. Anybody has time for them. I don't care if you've got 12 kids and you work 20 hours a day. You still have time to actually do this, right? So anyone can do it. And that's why when people come into the Freedom Fighters Network, they actually succeed because there's actually a proven step-by-step process for them to actually be able to do that. Right, and when people refer people to the Freedom Fighters Network, you earn $25 monthly residual commission. And then when your team members refer people, you get $5 for every person they refer, which is really exciting. But that's not the reason why we created the Freedom Fighters Network. It's not the reason why you're here tonight. You're here tonight because you want to learn how to earn big commissions. You want to learn how to earn between $400 and $3,298 without doing anything more than you're already doing to get a person in at the $25 level, right? To get a person at the $47 level, which yields you a $25 commission, I should say. That's what we're going to be covering here tonight, because the bottom line is this. When we created the Freedom Fighters Network, all we wanted to do is create a front-end system for something that would convert into high-end or high-level back-end sales, right? Because if you can guide people through a process wherein already you guys that are part of the Freedom Fighters Network, you know how this works. You don't have to call your prospects. You don't have to do anything like that because the process, the system handles all of that for you. It's going to be the same way when we unveil what we're going to be unveiling this Sunday night. Actually, it's this Sunday afternoon. And write this date and time down, guys. This Sunday afternoon, you guys do not want to miss this hangout. And you're going to have to be a member of the Freedom Fighters Network, which we'll get into here in a little while. You need to be a member in order to actually attend the hangout, but it is at 3 p.m. Eastern time this Sunday afternoon. I'm going to say that again so you guys can all grab a pen and write this down. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Sunday afternoon, which is Sunday, November the 9th. That is the hangout wherein we are going to be broadcasting live to members only. You can become a member at any time by clicking on the button down below. You can actually get started for free. We offer a 7-day free trial as long as you take action before the timer hits 0. We like working with action takers. And so make sure you take action. Otherwise, you do have to pay the full $47 price tag. With that being said, on Sunday, what we're going to be covering, and we're going to be giving you guys a little bit of a sneak peek tonight, but on Sunday, you're going to hear about the products, you're going to hear about everything, and the only people that are going to get access to that, which is a brand new company, nobody's ever heard of it. This thing will blow up the same way the Freedom Fighters blew up when we first started, right? Same way it's continued to blow up ever since, even through our bumps and bruises and struggles in the beginning. We still blew up to over 25,000 members in our first 3 months. This thing is going crazy. We want it to go crazy with you. You have to be a member, though, in order to actually gain access to that hangout. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to you so we can start kind of spilling the beans on really what's to come on Sunday, and really what you guys need to do in order to prepare for Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And by the way, the reason why it's at 3 p.m. Eastern is to try and suit most of your time zones. We realize that we've got people from all over the world inside of the Freedom Fighters Network, and we realize that right now it's 6:30 Mountain Time, 8:30 Eastern Time, and it's like somewhere in the wee hours of the morning for the poor UK people who I'm sure are not on this hangout. Only the super hardcore ones are, right? So we wanted to try and do it early on in the day because it's going to be very, very important, guys, that you're there live on that hangout. You do not want to watch the recording of that hangout. It is absolutely crucial, and we'll tell you why over the course of this hangout, as I pass it back over to Jordan here, that you need to be there live. So like literally cut out whatever you're doing Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, mark your calendars, set a reminder on your phone. I don't have my iPhone sitting here, but if you got an iPhone, literally guys, this is like super simple. And Jordan and I do this for like most things. You just go like this, you press the home button and you go, oh, now it's not gonna do it. Why is it not doing it? What are we doing? Huh. There we go.
Set reminder for 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday that I will be on the FFN Hangout in the members only area. Yeah, Suri's even gonna get all of that.
1 p.m.
Cool.
Cool. So that's all you guys
And you might want
to
to
do.
set a few timers before that, folks. You might want to set a few reminders like leading up to it so you don't miss that, right? Like get yourself prepared. And we're going to tell you some of the different things here today.
And one other thing before I pass it over to you again, sorry. I'm like really hogging the screen. Before you guys get on that hangout on Sunday, it's also extremely crucial that you have already gone through those 5 steps. So set an hour aside. If you're not a member of the Freedom Fighters Network, obviously you can do that tonight by clicking on the button down below this video. You'll be headed over to the sign up page. You get signed up, but make sure you set an hour of your time aside between now and Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern to actually go through those videos, so that you have like kind of a feeling of what the system is, how it works. Because otherwise, you're going to be a little bit confused on that hangout. This hangout, we're going to keep, you know, there's people here that are members, there's people here that aren't members, and so you're not going to be confused about anything that's on this hangout. That hangout is going to be for current members only. And we're going to assume that everybody's gone through those 5 steps as we're actually broadcasting live on Sundays. So really, really important, guys. Don't want you to be confused or left out in the cold or in the dark. Be sure once you get started here tonight to actually go through those 5 steps. And that way you'll know exactly where we're coming from when we broadcast live on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. All right, now I'm finally passing it over.
Awesome. So, wow, I don't even know where to take off from that. There's so many different things in so many different directions. Folks, you know, the reason we're so excited right now is because, like Angela said, the reason we created Freedom Fighters Network, it wasn't about the $25 commissions, right? Those are awesome. It was about the big commissions. You know, I remember I was at a live event about 2 years ago, maybe slightly less, you know, maybe about a year and a half ago. And I bumped into this guy. He's a good friend of mine now, and I remember bumping into him at this event. Now, he was one of the top producers, meaning that he had personally brought in more front-end people into that company, right? Pretty much like 10 times the amount of people that I had brought in. I was bringing in anywhere between 5 and I think my best month ever was like 11 people in a month, right? I think that was like my best month ever, is personally bringing in 11 new customers in a single month, which is kind of silly to look at now with the amount of people that we've been able to bring in here. And he was bringing in like, you know, 100 people a month or just something crazy like that, right? And he said, Jordan, you're earning almost as much money as I am. I was literally earning like 70% of the amount of money that he was earning. What are you doing? How are you doing it? I said, well, dude, I'm not focused on the front end sales here. Yes, you still need to focus on that. And I think it's really exciting with what we have going on here. And I'm going to touch on that in a moment with the Freedom Fighters Network, why it's so exciting to marry the two of these together. I was focused on, once I did acquire a customer, helping that customer see the value in all the different products that we offered, seeing how they could take those products and apply them into their life or use them in their life, and then getting those customers to actually buy the higher priced products, right? That is what I was really good at. You know, I actually had somewhere around 11 or 12% of the people that I brought into the company buy every single product that we sold. Every single product we sold, I think I had like 12% of the people buy every single product we sold. What did that do? Well, it took a customer that on the front end was worth like, you know, 25 bucks, and it turned that customer into almost $1,000 value, right? It turned that customer from a $25 value into almost $1,000 value. Well, that's really what we have here when you start looking at higher ticket commissions and higher price points where you get to earn bigger commissions, is when you bring a customer in, you know, and really up until now, with the exception of like the first week that we launched this company, because we originally launched this Freedom Fighters Network as a front end system for a specific company where we sold higher priced products. Our whole goal was not to make a ton of money with the Freedom Fighters Network, although people are able to create a nice little residual income that can help cover a lot of the costs of their marketing expenses and whatnot, right? Which is really, really cool. That's typically what these kind of systems do. They cover the front end marketing costs of what it costs to actually generate leads, generate traffic, and get front end signups. The real money is made though, folks, when you're earning higher level commissions. That's where the real money is made. We knew that, but here was the issue. While we were really good at getting people to buy higher level products, I was really good at it, Angela was really good at it, getting people to buy these higher level products, we struggled with helping our people make front end sales. So I don't care how good I am at getting someone's team member to buy a higher level product and then make a higher level commission. If I can't help them get front end sales, knowing all this stuff doesn't mean anything, right? At the same time, folks, knowing all the front end stuff, if you don't know the back, if you don't have the back end there, it's like you need to have both of them put together, right? You have to have both of them put together. That's why we're so excited here about the Freedom Fighters Network coming up with the top tier program that we've literally created from scratch here. That is going to allow you to earn what are the commissions here? That's going to allow you to earn. Those aren't the commissions.
Yeah, those are the price points.
Yep.
I'm gonna do those
So you're going to be able to earn between $400, almost $1,500, and almost $3,300 commissions, like literally just under those price points there. You're going to be able to earn, again, $400, $1,500, and $3,300 commissions. Now, this is during pre-launch, folks. This is during pre-launch. These products are heavily, heavily, heavily discounted for that 1 week window, for that 7-day window. When we launch Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, it's actually going to be a little more than 7 days, because we're literally going to go from 3 p.m. Eastern time to like the following. I don't know if that falls on Saturday. We got to look at the actual calendar. I believe it falls on that Saturday. It's 7 days later, but it's going to be at midnight. It's going to be midnight Eastern time is when that's going to fall off. And in that 7 day, 7.5 day, 7 day, and like 8 hour window or whatever it is, you're going to have the ability to not only get the products at a huge discount, but be able to earn commissions from other people inside of your teams getting those products at a huge discount. And there are literally, I mean, we are getting emails from people regularly. Dude, when is this coming? Like, I have money now. We've had people, can you let me buy it now? We've had people say, can I wire you money? We've had people like literally wanting to send us checks in mail. They just want to be a part of the top tier, right? They don't even know what the product is. Now, folks, when you learn what this product is Sunday, it's going to be a whole lot more exciting, right? So let's touch back on really why the two of these married together, why this is so beautiful, and why like we actually have both things in place, why this is so important. Again, we have a funnel in place, a front-end marketing system in place, wherein someone can come in and they can get front-end sales without them having to know or understand marketing whatsoever, right? Obviously, folks, if you're a marketer and you go out there and you learn different concepts and you develop your leadership skills and all this different stuff, will you increase those results? Absolutely. Will someone that's been marketing for 10 years get better results than someone who's brand new? Absolutely. Why? Because they know different things they can do, not in the front end, but on the back end to get more sales, right? And some marketers are going to go out there and they're going to create their own funnels and do all this stuff. They're going to be able to get better results as well. Our goal was, though, for not knowing anything, to be able to get a result on the front end, literally in their first, couple days, 7 days, couple hours, month, whatever. Why? When I got started online, what is that, almost 6 years ago now? Holy cow. Wow, time is flying by. I got started online almost 6 years ago. And the reason is because I remember looking for an opportunity. I was working at my parents' restaurant for 6, 7, 8 years now at this point in time, and realizing at that point in time that I still had no freedom in life, right? I loved working with my parents. They taught me a lot about running a business, about hard work, about literally, I know that the massive success that I've been able to achieve in this industry comes from a lot of the stuff I learned inside of working in that restaurant with my parents and being a business owner and having a different mindset. My mind shift coming into the industry was a whole lot more than the normal person that comes in. Most people come in from, having a job and having, the mentality of, you tell me what to do and I'll go do it, versus actually being a business owner and saying, make sure this stuff gets done, I'm going to go do it, right? So I definitely had that leg up on people. But the point being, 6.5 years into working with them or so, I said, hey, if I continue on, I'm not going to have a life. I hadn't gone to concerts in a while. I literally, maybe one concert every year or two, which if you know me, that's insane. I've literally
completely insane. We go to concerts all the time.
couple times a week. We were going 4 or 5 nights a week before we launched the Freedom Fighters.
Yeah, we go
slow down.
4 times a week.
It's going to speed back up, all that good stuff. But never went on vacation, right? I went on 2 vacations in 6 years. I went on 23 vacations last year, right? All this different stuff that I didn't have in my life that I wanted, and finally, after enough was enough, I said, you know what? I'm going to do something about this. So what did I do? I went onto Google and I typed in how to become a millionaire. And I got this little video of this guy saying, hey, I was a broke bouncer 2 years ago. I'm a millionaire now and I can show you how. I'm like, well, that's what I'm looking for. So let's go do this, right? Well, the thing that happened was I looked at this thing. I literally paid money right away to get into the front end of this thing. And then I told my family about it. I told my brother about it. I told my parents about it. And every one of them talked me out of it. Well, I was young and stupid and I let them talk me out of it for about 5 months. Right, I listened to them. They said, Jordan, you shouldn't start a business right now. You don't have money. You need to save up $20,000 before you can start a business, because you need to have money and cash flow and capital and all this stuff. You need to understand business metrics more, just all sorts of different things. I remember someone telling me that I needed to go to business school before I could start a business online. And the funny thing is, starting a business online is it's more of a business school than going to business school, right? You're learning from people that are making millions of dollars right now, versus learning from someone who's literally making 50 to 100,000. How to run a business? It's absolutely insane to think that. So I remember getting talked out of it. And here we are about 5 months later. It's like December 21st, December 22nd of 2008. And this was 5 days after my nephew Mason was born. I remember wanting to go visit my brother. He lived almost an hour away from us. And I had the night off of work, and I was like, dude, I'm going to visit you. You just had a boy. I can't wait to come see. I love kids, you know. So I was like, I can't wait to come hang out and, you know, forget you and your wife. I want to see your son, you know, like that's kidding. I love them too. But
as they're sitting here watching the hangout right now.
You know, I literally call my brother sometimes. I'm like, hey, are your kids free? Can I come hang out? You know, they're like, I'm here too, you know. I'm like, yeah, but you don't matter as much. You know, I'd rather come play with your kids. They're more fun. So I go over there and I'm sitting down in my brother's living room area. I'm sitting on the couch and holding my nephew, who's like this tiny little guy, like maybe 5-6 pounds or something like that. And realizing I'm talking to my brother, I'm talking to his wife, realizing at that point in time, they both worked from home, right? Like they had jobs working for, you know, family, both working from home on the computer. And they were going to get to be there for their son. They were going to get to be there to see their son grow up, to learn how to crawl, you know, to learn how to walk, to say his first words. So all these amazing things in life you never get to hear about. Most parents literally, they get to hear about it or see it happen on a video even, or, you know, see pictures of their kids growing up while they're busy working, right? While they're busy working. And I said, you know what, that's not for me. Literally in that moment, I remember holding him, I said, that's it. I went home the next day. The next day I called up and I got like 5 or 6 credit cards. Somehow they weren't communicating with each other because they let me get like $18,000 in credit, which I was told, I don't know how I got that much credit back then. It was crazy.
It was the Wild West back then.
It was the Wild West back then. But so I get all this credit, right? I'm like, and if that doesn't work, I'm doing whatever I got to do. I'll sell stuff. I'll go donate blood. I will literally donate organ. No, I'm kidding. I was like, I will do whatever I got to do. Why? Because I'm so sick of not having freedom in my life. I'm so sick of not having freedom in my life. So I get involved in this thing like 16 days later, and 6 months go by before I earn my first commission, right? I maxed out all of those credit cards, paid some of them off a little bit, and maxed them all out again. So here I have spent like $18,000, $20,000. I don't even know how much at this point in time, and I've yet to make a single penny. And most people would have given up after like the first 5,000 spent, the first 10,000 spent, 15,000 spent. If they were 6 months without making a penny, they would have been like, I quit. That's it. I'm done, right? I still wanted to go. The thing about what me and Angela wanted to put together here, folks, was that we didn't want you to have to go through 6 months of learning curve. What if you could plug in and while you were learning marketing skill sets, you could have marketing that's done for you? What if while you were, you know, being educated and listening to different trainings and learning different strategies, because it's not enough, folks. For most marketing strategies out there, it's not enough for you to just sit and watch a video and then all of a sudden you just magically know it all and you're like, oh, I understand everything. No, what it takes is you going out there, implementing that and getting a result with it before you understand why it works, right? And that's the way it works. But what if there was a way where you could get a result before understanding any of that stuff? What if there was a way where brand new people could get independent of understanding all that stuff? And then while they're getting those results, they could understand all this other stuff. You know, there's one more element that we got to touch on here, folks. This is the key element to marketing. Marketing results. So let's say, for example, you were like in a weight loss company, or you were in a company where you sold beauty products that made you look better. You were in a company where, you know, you sold gasoline that made the car drive faster. It doesn't matter what company it is, right? When you can literally take the product or take the service that you're selling and go use it and get a result with it, whatever that result is, you know, losing weight or making your car move faster or making your face look, you know, like there's not really makeup on it, even though there's makeup all over it. You know, whatever that is, when you can literally go and say, here's the result that I got from this, it's a whole lot easier for you to sell it than someone saying, you know, it would be like someone who's literally gaining weight consistently saying, hey, look at this great weight loss product I'm in. And you should use it too. They're like, dude, but you're gaining weight. Well, yeah, okay, but you should use it too. No, loses 20, 30, 40 pounds. They're like, look at this amazing thing I'm using. Well, they wouldn't even have to say that because some people would be like, what are you doing? You know, I remember last year when me and Angela did a raw cleanse. Now, this wasn't a company that we sold for or anything of that nature. We did a raw vegan cleanse. And literally within a month, how many people were asking us about it and how many people had started doing it just because they're like, how do I do this?
Oh my God, if we were in a raw vegan MLM, we would have been millionaires in that company like instantly.
People saw that we were getting results. They said, what are you doing? We said, this is what we're doing. They're like, let me do it too. It's literally that simple, folks. Like that's all marketing is, right? Well, so what if you can take that concept and see, this is where most people struggle, because I remember I understood that was the concept when I first got started, but I said, I don't have results. What can I market? How can I go out there and market when I don't yet have results, right? It wasn't so easy, right? The minute I got a result, my marketing changed. The minute I got a result, I was able to say, hey, I just made money and I can show you how to do it too. Hey, I just got traffic and leads and sales. I just made money and I can show you how to do the same thing. And people were all of a sudden just coming like white on rice. They were coming and signing up and buying products and stuff from me. Literally like a week later, I had my first like $800 day, right? Or $600 day. I don't even remember exactly what it was. I was so freaking excited about it though, because the breakthrough moment happened for me when I was actually able to take a result that I had achieved inside of the industry and say, here's what I achieved. I know how to do it. I can show you how to do the same thing. So what if we could take someone who's brand new, help them get a result, then they can say, hey, look, I did this, I got this result, I can show you how to do the same thing. Just join the system. And if you're not a part of Freedom Fighters Network now, dude, click the button down below, folks. Get started for free with us. We have a 7-day trial. It is a limited time offer. Once you click that button, there's a very limited time offer. Get in for free, get started with us, and you too can be going out there getting results, turning around and saying, look how I got results. It's really that simple. That is the key to marketing. That's all I've ever done for the past 5.5 years since I got my first result, is I've shared with people, look at the result I got now. If you want to know how I got here from there, I'll show you. And then you literally just fill in the gaps in between. You don't necessarily have to do that all on the front end, but you need to have something in place to where they can learn that stuff, i.e. the Freedom Fighters Network marketing training system, the platform that has all the stuff, all the tools, all the websites, all the sales videos, all of the email stuff done for you. It literally has everything already in there for people. It's an entirely built marketing system that's already done for everyone. It's literally plug and play simple. And they literally just plug in with this thing, go out there and get a result, and they say, hey, you want to know how I did it? Well, guess what? You can just have this system too, right? You can literally have all these tools and resources, follow the same formula I followed. But folks, remember, and I can see Angela's like getting excited here to want to talk about this. The key was not bringing people on the front end. I mean, the big thing was not, hey, let's go make $1 million making $25 commissions. Do you know how many $25 commissions that would take? It's like, what, 40,000 commissions or something like that. It's a lot of commissions. What if you could earn, $3,300 commissions, right? At $3,300, that's only like 3,000 commissions, something like 300 commissions.
Oh man, you're looking at me.
That's actually only 300 commissions, folks. What do you think is easier? 40,000 sales or 300 sales, right?
300 or 40,000.
And my math might be a little bit off here. Well, let me just double check that. What's a million divided by 3,300 roughly? Yeah, it's 303 sales.
303 sales.
303 sales. The point is, folks, that we know it's easier. We know it's easier to make more money selling less product, right? And the reason it's easier is this. When someone buys a product from you, they're more likely to buy again, right? When someone gets in that front, getting people through the front door is the most difficult part. Getting someone to first commit and say, hey, guess what? I believe in you. I like you. I trust you enough to pull my credit card out, put it into your website and say, I'm ready to buy something from you. It's a whole lot easier to sell something else to those people, especially when it's a product that they're going to want to use. It's a product that they're going to love. It's a product that they're going to feel awesome sharing with other people. It's a product that's not just there to make money with. It's a product that's not just about, it's not just a product that was created so that we could create high commissions.
Yeah.
It's not just like air, it's literally a product that people...
$3,000 couple, have you know? Just kidding. Our product's actually really cool, I promise.
So folks, I could keep going on about this, but this is really the key, right? This is really the key. There's been a lot of people that have come to us in the past 3 months, and folks, trust me, if we could have had this thing launched a month, 2 months ago, we would have, right? We honestly didn't know that we'd be building a top-tier company when we first started this system. We literally were like, let's create a funnel that our team members can use. Why? Because our team members were struggling to market in the company we were involved in. We were struggling to market in the company we were involved in. We're like, we need something that works on the front end. And as soon as we have that, then the rest of it will take care of itself. We've already got all the other stuff in place. And when we decided to part ways with that company, when we decided, we mutually decided to go different ways, realized we're like, oh God, we need something else here. You know, we looked for different companies, but nothing really fit. Nothing really fit our big vision, right? You know, the truth of the matter is this. When me and Angela first launched Freedom Fighters Network, and you might have watched the sales video, we talked about wanting to create 100 six-figure earners by the end of 2014, right? What does that mean? It means 100 people earning over $8,600 or $800 a month or whatever it is. $100,000 divided by 12. That's how much money you need to earn in a month to be a $100,000 per year earner or a six-figure earner, right? We wanted 100 people earning that kind of money before the end of the year. We knew that was going to happen from the $25 sales. That will happen from the larger sales. We will get there. As soon as we launched Freedom Fighters Network, though, we said, holy cow, we were thinking small. When we came up with those numbers, we can create $1 million earners, right? We can create people earning $80,000 a month. We will be creating people that earn $80,000 a month in no time, right?
In the first month.
In the first month, we know that, right? So we knew we had to create something amazing and something with a huge vision. And everyone we talked to, all the different company owners we looked at, you know, all the people that would have been willing to put us on the front end or wanting to put us on the front end. I shouldn't even say willing. You know, there's people like begging us to market their companies. And the thing was, like, either their products were stuff that were like, we don't feel good about selling that, you know, because it's really, you know, it's just a high price product. There's plenty of those out there. There was one we saw was like, I could kind of see myself enjoying that product, but I don't know how I would market that. I don't even know, right? There's a lot of different companies we saw that you know, we loved the products. The only thing was the commission structures weren't there. The people wouldn't have been able to earn high-level commissions. We had people coming to us saying, hey, look at this product. Well, yeah, that product's great, but they earn $20 commissions. They're earning more than that with our front end. Like, why would I get them into something they can earn another $20 commission on? That doesn't make sense, right? People need to be able to earn higher-level commissions. Now, more importantly than that, folks, people need to be able to earn higher-level commissions, and they need to be able to see a way where they can actually do it. Scares most people. They look at it and they say, yeah, that's great. I can earn a $3,300 commission, but that's going to require me getting on the phone and hard closing this person and knowing all these sales tactics and all this different stuff, right? That's going to require me to do all these different things. No, it's not, right? We have things in place. Me and Angela are extremely good at getting people, after they buy the initial stuff, to upgrade and buy different products, right? I know because we've done it for 3 years now in other companies. I know because leaders in that company were like, dude, you're recruiting like literally less than 10% of the amount of people I'm recruiting, and you're making almost as much money as me. What are you doing? You know, I mean, just absolutely crazy stuff, you know? And so we know that what we know how to do is absolutely amazing, but now we have the front end on there. And folks, with what we're going to lay out, when people go through this process and they see this, they're going to say, oh my God, I can do that too. Oh my God, it's so simple. Oh my God, my people are going to want to buy that. You know, the very first big level commission that I ever sold, and I'm gonna pass it to Angela here in a second because now I'm being the screen hog.
Jeez.
The very first big level commission that I ever sold, folks, this is exactly how it went. You know, and we got a lot of ideas from this business model that I was involved in years ago. We got some of our ideas from there, right? I mean, look at what was working, look at what does work, look at what has worked. Take ideas from other people, you know, put your own flavor on it, add your own things. We've got a lot of really cool things that we're adding on to all this different stuff, and we're going to tell you about those in just a moment. The one that we came up with last Thursday, though, I think.
Oh my God, we were up until like 2 in the morning, and then I couldn't sleep until literally like 3:30. It took me like an hour and a half to fall asleep after coming up with this idea. Sorry, yeah. You guys are going to feel the same way after we actually tell you guys what it is tonight.
You guys are going to love this idea, right? Yeah. But looking back at that point in time, it was the very first big commission I had ever earned. I was involved in this company wherein someone came in on the front end for like $35, and they went through a series of videos and training and all this stuff. They were involved in this marketing system, right? Where they saw like, hey, I could learn this stuff. I could implement this stuff. They didn't have done for you marketing. Like, they literally had to go out there and learn it on their own and implement it. You see, they're like, I can do this, right? Like, other people have done it, so I can do it too, right? And then they'd get onto this training with leaders, right? That was saying, hey, if you bring someone in here and you're going to go do all this work anyway, you're going to go out there and you're going to get traffic. You're going to go out there and you're going to market on Facebook and YouTube and blogging and do different page strategies you're going to learn, and postcards, and just literally you're going to go out there and learn all these different marketing strategies, and you're going to implement your time and you're going to invest your money into all this different marketing to get people to come to the front end where you get to earn $25 monthly commissions, right? You're going to go do all that same stuff to get people to this point in time. The question is, would you rather have that person be worth $25, or would you rather have that person be worth $3,298.50? Right? I mean, it's a pretty simple question, right? It's a pretty simple answer. What would you rather have? I'd rather have that person be worth $3,298.50.
Because it takes no extra work, guys. You're literally sending the traffic. It's literally the case of, are you sending the traffic and are you not positioned for level commission, or are you sending the traffic and you are positioned? Because either way, that person's going to go through the process, and even if you don't decide to position yourself, they're going to see the value in it and they're going to position themselves.
Right. So back then, folks, I saw that when I first got started, and I was like, I'm positioning myself, right? I positioned myself. And the very first person I ever brought into that company, he went through the whole process. About a day later, he calls me. He's like, hey, I'm seeing this thing here, and it's telling me that if I buy it now, I get a discount, and there's all these other things that go along with it, and I have to take action in a couple days. The product looks awesome. You know, I can afford it. I want to buy it, but you know, really, the question is, can I actually sell this? Like, can I sell this? And without thinking about it, I just said, well, what did I do to sell you? And he's like, nothing. I'm like, so do you think you could do that too? Yeah, right. Wow. Wow. What if one of your team members called you and said, hey, I'm looking at this product. It looks great. I see that I have X amount of days to get it for a huge discount, and there's other things that go along with that. We're going to talk about some of those tonight, folks. The incentive for people to buy these products is going to, it's literally, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. It's like Marlon Brando says, I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse, right? I mean, there's no guns involved here, don't worry. But it's just like that. It's an offer you can't refuse, because when you see the offer, you know, you're going to see the offer. When you see this offer, you're like, oh my God, it just makes sense, right? Literally the very next day, I remember waking up and almost tackling my dad in the garage. I lived in my dad's basement, this little 10 by 10 room. I almost tackled him. I'm like, I just made $1,000. And the thing I realized at that point in time was I could never, ever, ever settle for working for an hourly wage at that point. I could never, ever, ever give up on my dreams at that point. I could never, ever, ever turn around and say, you know what, I'm okay with working for 10 or 12 bucks an hour. And if I get a 50-cent raise once every 6 months, I'm okay with that. If I can have one vacation a year and blah, 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 and whatever other BS. Like the moment that hit, I was like, my life is entirely different now. Why? Because I could never look back. The only thing I could do was say, I'm going forward with this thing, right? It was a very life-changing, pivotal moment for me, you know, and obviously there's a series of life-changing moments that occur throughout your life that literally keep directing you towards your destiny, right? Keep directing you towards your dreams, right? Or some people run away in the opposite direction, but my series of pivotal moments kept pivoting me in the direction of my dreams, right? And even the ones that didn't look so good, I was like, nope, this one still pushed me towards my dreams. Folks, it's absolutely amazing, right? That is what we have in place here. People will see this and they'll say, well, yeah, I want to buy this, but can I sell it, right? Well, they'll say, well, no one sold me, but I want to buy it.
My sponsor didn't call me. I didn't have, yeah, that's the thing. Like, people aren't going to have to pick up the phone them to buy it, because Jordan and I are going to take care of that entire process. You know, the other thing that we found when our team was struggling, you know, I did have somebody last year actually that came into my team, and she was getting more front-end sales than me at the time. I was getting like 2 to 5 sales a day, and she was getting like anywhere between 3 and 7 sales a day. Kind of right out of the gate, which really surprised me because I had never seen a to come in and be able to do that. But where she fell short was the back end. What happened is she was really afraid to get on the phone with her prospects, or her sales, actually, I should say, because there are people that have actually, they had spent money, they purchased the front end product from her, but she was afraid to get on she was afraid to get on the phone with her prospects and actually call them and upgrade them, because, you know, in all honesty, it's scary. You know, when I first got started, I was scared to get on the phone with people as well and actually, you know, tell them to buy a high priced product, especially, you know, if it's your first time and you've never sold that product before, and you're like sitting there, like your knees are knocking and you're like, oh my gosh, is this person going to ask me how much money I've made? I really freaking hope not, because I've made nothing so far. Like, that's going to be really embarrassing. You know, that's the kind of things that hold people back from making money in this industry. Now, before we actually get into some of the really important announcements, what I want to do is actually tell you guys a story about how I became a top earner in the last company that Jordan and I were in, because a lot of people don't realize that even though I seemed like an overnight success in that company, I was actually losing $1,000 per month literally the week before the company launched. I had been in the industry already for 4.5 years. I had struggled. I was a top earner, top producer in the company that I was in because I was getting a lot of sales. I was one of the top recruiters. I was bringing in, a few people every day, as much as 7 people in a single day in that company. And I would show up at the events and people would want to get pictures with me and things like that. Meanwhile, I was still working as an insurance broker. I was not making anywhere close to the amount of money that I needed to be making in order to actually quit my job. I was still having to do that. And in fact, I wasn't really making any money at all. I was spending about $3,000 a month and only making back like $2,000 a month. Therefore, if you actually do the math there, real simply, you can see that I was losing like $1,000 a month. And I was doing that for a really long period of time. Ask me why, I have no idea why you'd spend that much and lose that much over that long of a period of time. Me, I went $45,000 into debt over 4.5 years in this industry before finally figuring things out. So you ask, well, what did you figure out? What changed? How did you go from losing $1,000 a month to the very next month earning, almost $10,000? How would you go about doing that? Well, a couple of things. Number one, I got in a company in pre-launch. I got in a company when nobody heard about the company before. It was brand new, and thousands and thousands and thousands of people on the internet were flocking to this company. And so even if my marketing skills weren't like incredible, like some other people's marketing skills out there, now granted, I will tell you, I had decent marketing skills back then. Am I as good as I am now? Hell no, absolutely not. I was losing money and my skills were not as sharp as they are now, but I was decent, right? I was nowhere near as good as some of the people that were out there earning $10,000 a month easily and other things though. But what happened was I got into a company in pre-launch when nobody knew about it. Everybody wanted to be in it because everybody saw a way to finally make money. At the time, the company that I got in was a paradigm shift. It was something that had never been done before, and everybody wanted in on it. There were people just literally Googling the name of this company. They were searching around. They were trying to find out what the company was on Facebook, and I happened to be in ahead of the curve. Therefore, when I was out there with my little menial marketing skills, I was able to pull people in to something when it was super, super easy. Now, I'll tell you what happened over the course of the next few years in that company. Although I was able to earn a 5-figure monthly income within 6 months of actually hard promoting the company, I watched my team struggle. For the longest time, really not having too much of. And why was that? Well, I had that success in the beginning, right? I earned I think it was $9,347. I used that in my marketing, which I'll talk about here again in just a moment and why that's important to do. I earned $9,347 in less than 6 weeks. At that time, altogether, ask me why. Yeah, stupid decision, right? Completely stupid decision. If you have that kind of success and then you stop promoting, you're, I was a complete idiot. I shouldn't have done that. That being said, I came back a year later. I was able to use that story though. I was able to use the fact that, hey, I got into something and I had success my very first 6 weeks. I earned $9,347 my very first 6 weeks. And if you join me, I'll show you how to do it. Right? The problem is nobody could actually duplicate what I did, because what I did, right, was I joined in the pre-launch of this company, and everybody that got in, I could teach them how to upgrade their people. I could teach them what I was doing. I could teach them all that, but getting the front end, the reason why people were joining me is because I had a story. So even when everything stopped converting after 3 years of that company being beaten to death and nobody was getting signups in that company, I was still getting signups. All of my stuff still converted because all of my funnels all over the internet talked about how I made $10,000 in my first 6 weeks, right? It's really easy to get a story like that. Really, really easy to get a story like that in the beginning. Now, with the Freedom Fighters Network, if you've known us for any amount of time now, you know that we're a little bit different as well. We're marketers before we're company owners. We really actually never had any aspiration to be company owners. We just sort of fell into this role because nothing out there was freaking working, and we were sick of watching our teams fail. That being said, all of our stuff out there, we're not going to ever have stuff out there that doesn't convert for you guys. We're going to make sure that everything that we have out there converts. And those of you guys who are marketers and you're like, well, yours and Jordan's story isn't going to convert forever. Guess what? We also know that. We have plans to make sure that stuff does convert. And through our leadership groups, you guys that have sponsored over 100 people are in our 100 club. I'll probably be telling you guys about some of the stuff that's coming here. Just really, really exciting stuff after the actual pre-launch. But the bottom line was this: the reason why I was able to be so successful in that company, even though so many other people failed, was because I developed a story. $10,000. So you might be wondering, like, did you sell a whole bunch of $15 products? No, I actually went from earning, $15 per month commissions in my previous company, the one that I was losing $1,000 a month in, to all of a sudden, when I got started in this thing, I had a way to earn $100, I think it was $125 and $500 commissions right out of the gate. I actually had to do the selling on that, which I had sort of became seasoned in from being in the last company where I was told that I had to be on the phone all the time. So I was able to make those sales, but I was literally able to go from losing that amount of money to earning almost $10,000 my first 6 weeks by only earning $500 commissions. I went from being able to earn $15 commissions to earning $500 commissions. You guys are going to be able to earn a whole lot bigger commissions than that and develop an even bigger story than what I developed. When I first got started back then, or when I first started having success, I should say, back then. That's the big thing that you guys really need to understand, is that there's kind of like a myth in this industry where people think that they need a team in the thousands or a team in the tens of thousands to earn a lot of money. You don't. You need a few people that know, like, and trust you, that you can get to know, like, and trust you by literally bringing them through a process that's so simple, because you don't have to do any of the, people don't get started, right, in this industry. People don't get started if you're trying to pitch them on the next greatest and latest juice product in MLM or whatever, because they see the process. They see, oh my gosh, this is my sister and she's calling me up and she's saying I should get started in this company, and like, I don't want to call my aunt and tell her she needs to get started. This process sucks, right? People are going to come through our process just like they have thus far. It's why we have 25,000 people in the Freedom Fighters Network, and literally our first 3 months of launch, it's huge. No other company has literally brought that many in, at least not to my knowledge anyway. The reason why so many people join is because they see the process. They see it's something simple. They see, I wasn't sent here by my aunt or my uncle or my brother or sister. I was sent here, I don't know. And the reason why I landed here is because I am already looking for a way to make money on the internet, right? If you can send people to a page that shows them how to make money on the internet, and they're already looking for a way to make money on the internet, what are the chances that they're going to buy what you have to offer? That's why we have our traffic sources. That's why we have our marketing training put together by our leaders. It's why we have all of these different things in place, so that the new person can come in, they can see a simple process where they can start making money, and they can then start making money. And then what happens, later on you can learn more advanced marketing skills. We've got our leaders that have put together incredible different trainings that have brought them, some of them hundreds of signups already inside of the first 3 months even. Really, really exciting stuff. Some of it's advanced, some of it's, pretty simple stuff that they're actually doing in order to get a lot of signups in place. And you guys can go through that and you can learn exactly what to do. But the bottom line is this: if you get a result first, it's so much easier to go out there and do any other form of marketing. If you go out there and you get a result your first week, you can, rest of time, I can show you how I got a result my first week. Yep. All you need to do is get started. And then you're going to be able to go through the same thing that I did to get a result my first week. I didn't do anything special. I just followed the steps, right? Like, so many different things out there. You have to think outside the box. You have to, you go through the steps, but then you sit there and you have to like meditate and think about like different ways of doing things, because the ways that actually work aren't actually shown to you, right? Who's ever experienced that? It's pretty frustrating, right?
They're not really showing you what works.
I know, they're not really showing you. But so that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to Jordan, and maybe we can go ahead and cover some of these super exciting announcements here, and just make sure that you guys are positioned. That's like the big thing. We're going to go over quite a few awesome things here in just a moment. Jordan's going to go over them, so I'm not going to actually say them and have him say them again. But make sure that you are positioned by getting into the Freedom Fighters Network ahead of time. You will not be able to participate in this pre-launch unless you're a member of the Freedom Fighters Network. Yep. This pre-launch that's happening this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time will only be broadcasted to live members. It's going to be broadcasted in the back office. You're going to have to log into your back office to be able to see the broadcast, and it's going to be an unlisted hangout. You're not going to be able to find it anywhere on YouTube. You're not going to be able to get the YouTube link from anyone. You're not going to be able to
you could, it wouldn't matter because you're not going to be able to join unless you're inside the Freedom Fighters.
That too, yeah. Even if you could, we actually have it so that you have to join your sponsor in the Freedom Fighters Network. So if you don't have a sponsor, then you wouldn't even be able to actually, be able to get started. But that being said, you know, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, there's got to be a way around it for me to get on this thing, there's not. We've made it so there's not. We've got a freaking brilliant programmer who makes things exactly the way that we want them made. And the way that we want this made is that we offer what we're about to offer, because it's really, really special, guys. It's not something that, you know, a lot of other companies, they'll do pre-launches, they'll do different things. Like what we're going to allow, which here again is what Jordan's going to cover in just a moment, what we're going to allow our current members to have access to this Sunday is not something that I've seen any other company ever even remotely do for their current people. You know, there's a reason why we're not just broadcasting it to everyone out there. We want to do something really special for you guys as members of the Freedom Fighters Network. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back over to you.
Beautiful.
And you can cover some of that stuff.
Awesome. So what do we got to cover here? We got to cover the game plan, like what's going to happen, the pre-launch, the blackout period, as well as going into launch. Like how is that all going to lay out? You know, we've talked about this a little bit here in the past, but we never had specific dates in mind, right? Like we didn't have, you know, this is going to be for 7 days. Then from here, this, you know, like we had that, but we didn't know the day of pre-launch, the day that pre-launch was going to start, right? We're going to talk about, well, you already know what different commissions you can earn here, folks, right? But we're going to talk about the different price points. What are the actual retail prices so people can see, holy shit, look how much money I'm saving by getting in on pre-launch. Like this alone is going to save a whole lot of money for people. Now, there's two things here, folks, that we're going to touch on, and we're going to touch on them, you know, fairly loosely, just because, you know, because there's a little bit to them, right? And we don't want to confuse you. But the bottom line is, what does it mean? It means more money in your pocket, right? One big thing that I learned back in the day, and this was a company I was involved in, I was like, I need to understand everything before I can make money with this company, right? Like I need to understand all this stuff so I can understand where I'm making money from. And the head marketing guy looked at me. He's like, do you really want to understand the whole compensation model? You know, now, not that ours is so simple. It's not even funny, right? Like this one had moving parts in like 17 different areas.
There's 19
and
ways
it also
that you
depended
can
if you were like in the North Pole or the South Pole, and you know, like all this different stuff depended on it, right? None of that matters here. Like it's super simple. It's super, super simple, but there's going to be some switch ups on two of these things, which we're not going to get into all the details of that tonight, right? We are going to touch on them though, right? What do they mean? They mean more money in your pocket. Well, this guy looked at me. He said, do you really want to understand the compensation plan? I said, yes, I do. He said, go make money.
Go make a sale.
Go make money. When you see that's where the money's coming from, right? Until you have money coming from there, do you need to understand where it's coming from? No, because it's not coming from there yet, right? Like go make money, see where it comes in from all these places. And you're like, oh, that's why it's coming in from there. I want to go do more of that. Okay, you know, whatever the case may be. Ours is so simple. It's really simple. You earn money from your sales, and you earn money from your team member sales. That's it, right? So we're going to talk about that tonight. But we're going to talk about why it's so important for you to get involved in the Freedom Fighters Network right now. Again, you can do that for free by clicking the button down below. If you take action in time, you're good. You know, some of you have looked at this before, and you'll get there and you'll say, well, it's asking me to pay money. Well, that's because you didn't take action in time. You know, no offense. We like people that take action.
And the timer is real.
Yeah, we incentivize people to take action. And we don't say, you know, hey, take action in this amount of time or else, and then all of a sudden or else happens, and they're like, oh, well, nothing happened. Right? You know, here's what happens when that happens, folks. If you were to come to me and I were to say, if you buy this by this point in time, you'll get it for this discount, and you'll get this bonus and that stuff, right? And then you don't do it. And then I say, oh, well, I'll make an exception for you if you do it now. Or for that matter, just that stuff never really existed. That scarcity was all fake. It was just literally like marketing hype. You know, you'll see a lot of marketers out there say stuff, and then they don't actually mean it. And then what happens is the people are like, oh, I don't trust you anymore. Why should I trust you? You just lied to me, right? Yeah. You just lied to me. You told me that if I didn't take action by this point in time that this would happen, and then that didn't happen. I don't trust you anymore. I'm not going to buy more products from you, right? That's what happens, right? Me and Angela said, if you don't take action in your first 60 minutes, then you don't get in for free, right? That's not a lie. It's true, right? And people trust us. People see that when they get inside. There's literally going to be timed incentives for the top tier all the time, right? All the time. Now, those of you that aren't involved in the Freedom Fighters Network right now, getting in pre-launch, there's more incentive than what would normally be there, right? Because we love working with people. I really believe in this, folks. I tell you what, you look at us 2 months from now, or even a month from now, and I promise you, there are people that are looking at us right now. They're out there, they're cursing us. They're saying, oh, they're going to flop. They're not believing in us. They're sitting there saying, I'm going to wait to see if this thing really works before I come over there, right? Why should they get the same incentive that someone who's here with us right now saying, I believe in you guys. I believe in you so much, I'm going to come here during pre-launch, right? I believe in you so much, I'm going to bring the whole teams here during pre-launch. I believe in you so much, I'm going to market you to the moon even though I'm brand new or whatever the case may be. And I'm going to be here with you in the beginning, right? It's so much easier for someone to look at something after it's succeeding and then go to it and say, oh my God, like I couldn't wait to get over here. Except you sat there and watched for months and months and months and months and even years, right? It's so easy for people to look at something and say, I'm just going to wait back until that thing's actually, running, until people are making millions before I go over there, right? We know that. So for those of you that are here with us in the beginning, for those of you, literally, and there's thousands of you that are here with us, for those of you that are here with us, you are going to get a better incentive than anyone else. And I'm not just talking about a bigger discount. I'm not just talking about a bigger discount. One of the things that you're going to hear here tonight means more money in your pocket for life, right? You might want to write that one down. If you have a notepad in front of you right now, and some of you are starting to get a little excited, right? Who thinks it'd be cool that if you took action during pre-launch that you had the ability to earn more money for life? Who thinks that would be pretty cool, right?
I think it'd be pretty cool.
I think it'd be pretty cool, right? Well, we've got some of those things in place, right? That's some of the stuff we're going to talk about here in a moment. So let's get into, first and foremost, what are the price points, right? We want to touch on that now?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's 3 price points, right? We have 3 different product levels, and there's 3 different price points. One is $14.97, one is $49.97, and one is $99.97, right? These are progressive products, folks, meaning if you buy in at the $99.97 price point, you're good for all of it, right? And during pre-launch, what we have is a 33% discount, meaning that if you buy these products during pre-launch, you can buy in for either $9.97, $32.97, or $65.97, right? You can buy in for either $9.97, $32.97, or $65.97, right? 33% discount, literally thousands of dollars, hundreds on the bottom level and thousands on the other 2 levels that you get to save by taking action sooner, right? That's pretty freaking exciting, right? We're going to have a timed incentive for people after pre-launch, but it's not going to be saving nearly as much as what they're saving here. We knew that we had to make it extra juicy for you guys because, again, we love, folks, it is going to be so easy for people to look at us. It is going to be so easy for people to look at us in a month or 2 months and say, I'm going to go over there. People are making tens of thousands of dollars a month. People are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. People that have never been online before are making their first couple $1,000s in their first week or 2. Of course I'm going to go over there now, right? We knew that we wanted to put something special together for you because we love you. Right? We love you guys that are here with us right now. We love everyone else too, right? And we're going to love them when they come over here later. Most of them anyway. There's some of them that we'll probably tell them. But folks, the truth of the matter is this. We know that we want to make it better for you guys because you believe in us just as much as we believe in you. Now we've got another thing going on here too. So during pre-launch, again, $9.97, $32.97, $65.97. Do we tell them the commissions? Well, you guys already know the commissions on those.
Well, let's cover them here again in case somebody didn't write them down because I think people may just be starting to get those pens and papers out now. We've covered the time of the hangout. I'm going to say that here again, 3 p.m. Eastern time this Sunday, which is November 9th. And the prices of the products are $9.97, $32.97, and $65.97. That is with the 33% discount that you guys will be able to get. Right. So let's actually cover the commission levels here as well. I can't see that far, so if you want to. Perfect.
So
awesome.
You guys get to earn on your personal sales. You get to earn $398. You get to earn $1,483.65, and you get to earn $3,298.50. Right. Those are the 3 different product levels. Right. Second tier commissions, meaning if you personally refer someone and they turn around and sell the product, you earn 10% commissions on every single one of those levels, right? So $99.70, $329.70, and $659.70. super, super exciting. I mean, I know there's people out there that they have team members that are going to go make them a couple $1,000s just off of their personal sales, right? Like I know there's people out there that are going to be making tons and thousands of dollars in second tier commissions, right? Let alone all the stuff they're going to make off first tier. So those are the price points. Those are the commission levels during pre-launch, right? And so what is the other thing that we're going to be doing for you guys here? There's a few things. There's a few things, folks. First and foremost, one of the things that we looked at, me and Angela looked at this and we said, hey, what can we do to incentivize people to take more action? You guys might notice there's this thing inside that we thought of that's just so freaking cool that gets people into. Hold on, let me take a step back here. I'm about to choke on my words. I'm getting so excited about this thing. We have in the Freedom Fighters Network what is called the Freedom Elite, right? What is the Freedom Elite? It's higher level marketing and team building training, mostly geared towards team building training, right? Why? Because folks, if you just heard me talk about the commission levels you get to earn off of your team's production, you want to be able to build teams, right? You don't have to know how to do it in the beginning, and you're still going to earn some of those commissions based off of your team members coming in and doing just what we tell them. But folks, when you're able to understand team building concepts, you will get so much more results, right? We will help you get results independent of you knowing anything. You will be able to get results independent of you knowing anything. Just by plugging into our marketing stuff and stuff, you will be able to get results independent of you knowing anything, right? But we know that if we go out there and we build a huge team of internet zombies that all know nothing, it's going to crumble, right? We need to create leaders, right? The Freedom Fighters Network, or more importantly, the Freedom League, is what we call our leadership factory, right? Well, yeah, you can't buy your way into that. You see, there's a lot of different companies out there that the second you get involved in them, they say, hey, you need to understand leadership and all these different marketing skill sets and all this stuff, and let's sell it to you for like $10,000, $20,000, or even $500. I've been in companies that have sold it, and it's literally the same information no matter how much you're paying for it. It's whether it's $500, $1,000, $5,000, or I've seen companies that sell this stuff for $15,000, $20,000, and the information is all really the same. You know, it's really all the same. It's just the volume, the money you're paying for it, and feeling like it's more valuable because you're paying more money for it, right? The information about team building and getting teams to take action and incentivizing your teams and all this stuff, and building group culture and getting people who want to stick around, right? Getting people to want to take action and be a part of something that's bigger than themselves, right? The bottom line is this. Me and Angela know that if someone gets involved today and they don't ever go out there and produce a sale, they don't ever go out there and bring a team member in, they don't ever go out there and do some marketing and get some leads, what does it matter if they know how to build a team? Like, that doesn't need to be taught to them, right? It's information that they're not prepared for yet. It's like someone looking at a flight of stairs and saying, I want to start at the top. You know, I want to start at the top. I want to just jump over all these stairs. What's going to happen? You're going to try and jump up all those stairs and you're going to fall on your face. The most stairs I've ever made it up is like 2 or 3, you know? And then the fourth one, I like fall on my face, right? So the truth of the matter is this. You guys will be ready for certain information at certain stages. And rather than us charging you money for it, we just want to give it to you, right? That's incentive, right? What that's done is people are like, holy cow, I can just get this for free if I just go take action and get some results. It incentivizes people to take action. Well, what else incentivizes people to take action? Making more money. You know, that's to me, that's almost a little bit more exciting than getting. I don't even know which one's more exciting because they both ultimately mean more money, folks. Some people look at it and be like, well, you're just going to give me more training. What does that do for me? Well, it gives you more money ultimately, because when you learn higher level concepts, you get more money in your pocket, right? The more advanced marketer and team builder and all this stuff that I've become over the years, the more money I've made. It's a pretty simple ratio. The more knowledge you have on a specific skill set, the more talent you have, the higher you get paid for that skill set. Plain and simple, right? So what if we could what if we could literally put together a way where you could earn more money by producing results, right? And so what we wanted to do is put together some bonus pools, right? We have certain parts of the product sale. We have certain parts of the product sale that rather than them going to the company, rather than them rolling up to the company, we're literally going to put them in a bonus pool, right? And we're going to be doing all sorts of different incentives, right? The first one we're going to do is the pre-launch week. And only people that are involved during pre-launch will get access to this bonus pool. So all the money that comes in from a certain percentage of the sales, all this money that goes into the bonus pool is going to get divided up between people that actually produce results during pre-launch. Now, here's the difference between our bonus pool and most other ones. This is like literally the most fair bonus pool I've ever seen in my life. Oftentimes, here's what happens, folks. I mean, I've been a top producer in every company I've been involved in, and you know, it was rare in some of the companies for me to ever even look at winning one of the bonus pools. It was rare for me to say, oh, I'm going to hit number one on that. Why? Because there were so many marketers that were just so much further along than me, right? It was just, they were so much further along than me. I mean, people that were making millions of dollars a year, and here I am making like $2,000 a month or $5,000 a month. You know, there's no competition there, right? And so every single time these bonus pools would happen, I'd say, that's awesome. And I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to go out there, not because I'm going to hit the bonus pool necessarily, but I'm going to make a ton of money doing it anyway. I still want to make all this other money whether or not I hit that bonus pool. That was always my incentive, right? And I'd always see the same people winning these bonus pools. And that's cool, that's fine, but it's always the people at the top that get all this money. And I was involved in something a while back wherein this bonus pool got put together, and people that were producing results weren't even making money. You know, people that were making a really good amount of sales weren't even getting money. Like, had they made those sales and gotten paid for that, they would have made like a couple $1,000s, and instead they got nothing, right? And I was like, well, I will never have that happen.
Right.
So what if we could take our bonus pool? What if we could take our bonus pool and we could say, hey, every single person has the ability to earn here. Well, everyone says that, right? So that's not really, you're like, oh yeah, everyone has the ability to earn here, right?
If you produce a result.
If you produce a result, you will be a part of the bonus pool.
You will earn.
Period. If you produce a result, you will be a part of the bonus pool. And it's divided up extremely fairly. Not getting into too many details at all right now, but basically each level sale is a different amount of bonus points, right? Each level sale is a different amount of bonus points. Obviously, the first amount of bonus points than the top level. If you make a higher level sale, you're going to get more bonus points, right? The bonus pool will get divided up evenly amongst all the bonus points, and you get bonus shares for as many bonus points as you have, right? That's what we're doing during pre-launch.
Who's excited about that part? Because I think that part's exciting. What he's about to share, we're about to share with you guys, is literally even cooler than that. Because that's really cool. Like, I'm so sick of watching bonus pools. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt you because I'm super, super excited about the brand new person being able to actually share in the bonus pool. Like, there's been bonus pools when I was earning over $100,000 a year in companies, and I could not get into the bonus pool because there's people earning like friggin' $100,000 a month. And so it's really, really exciting. You know, this is what me and Jordan were talking about last Thursday. And like, I was literally like wired. I was wired. I was like downstairs trying to find the Valerian route at 3:30 in the morning, trying to fall asleep, because this was just so, so exciting. Because we actually found a way. It's like when everything clicked, right? When we developed the Freedom Fighters Network, everything clicked together, and we were like, holy crap, we have a way. We have a way for the new person to succeed. Now it's like, holy crap, it clicked. We have a way for the new person to not only make money on the front end, not only make money on the back end, but have a way for a brand new person to be able to come in,
get bonuses,
literally their very first week. Super, super exciting stuff. So anyway,
now folks, now here's the big thing we couldn't do with that. You know, like, we are definitely geared towards helping the brand new person get in and start getting results. But we can't go and say, hey, forget the top people. Like, you guys don't need any more money. You don't get any bonuses. No, you guys, it's equal. It's literally equal based off of what your production is. If you go out there and do absolutely nothing, guess what your bonus is? Absolutely nothing. If you go out there and do a whole bunch, your bonus is a whole bunch. And if you just get any results whatsoever, you will get some of that bonus. Right? As long as you go out there and get a result, you will get some of that bonus, right? And it will always be structured that way. Now, we're going to do different things, and we might have different, you know, we might take different parts of that bonus out and put together awesome prizes. You know, we're talking about different things we want to do in the future, but we're talking about literally just the pre-launch bonus pool, rather than going and saying, hey, you're going to get a vacation to here, or a car rental, or you know, or skydiving thing, or driving Lamborghinis, or, you know, brand new MacBook Pro for $4,000, whatever it is. Rather than saying all that different stuff, what if we just gave you money and you could go buy whatever you want? I mean, some of you got like 7 iPads, you know, you're like, I don't need any more iPads.
A bunch of contests, you get an iPad every time, you're like, oh great, here's another one of these, I'll set it on the shelf to collect some dust. Money is actually spendable. We figured you guys would rather have money for bonuses. Well, we might do some the other stuff too. for this particular thing that we're looking at doing, what we want to do is actually give you guys the money, give you guys something you can actually spend, use, and build your businesses with if you want to, be able to reinvest with and things of that nature.
Perfect. So, we're okay. So the pre-launch bonus pool. So here is a really cool thing, folks, and this is so exciting about pre-launch. We are going to have a bonus pool. We're basically, man, I'm so excited about this. How do I say this? Folks, when you decide to get started with us during pre-launch, you are going to have literally like just automatic extra bonus points for life, as long as you qualify. Right?
Double bonus points.
Double bonus points for life as long as you qualify. So if you go for a week, or if the contest is a month or whatever it is, and you get 0 bonus points, double times 0 is 0, right? But for those of you that are involved during pre-launch, those of you that get plugged in with us during pre-launch, if you go out there and get 10 bonus points in a contest in a week or whatever, that's going to double to 20, right?
You get double the money then too. That's what that means. Double points means double money. Just thought I'd clear that up if you're confused. Double points means double money. You literally get double the money for life just by being a founding member of the Freedom Fighters Network and getting started with one of our top tier levels during the pre-launch.
Yep.
This is just like so cool. Like literally somebody that has 10 bonus points already that doesn't get started in pre-launch, and you get 10 bonus points, you literally produce the same result after pre-launch. You get double the money that they get. Just for being a founding member.
Yep.
Just for being a founding, like how exciting is that? So freaking exciting.
Yeah. Oh, now folks, we got something else to go on with the bonus pools, but we're not going to touch on that here tonight. This is something that we're actually going to leave secret until people get involved, right? Once people get involved, we've got another little thing that's going to be going on here that's going to allow people to get bigger shares of the bonus pools, but we're not going to touch on that until after you're involved, right? And this one's just as exciting as all the rest of them. There's some people asking about the price points again. We want to touch on those again in just a moment. But just to recap on this bonus pool here, folks, if you're involved during pre-launch and you make sales during pre-launch, you get a part of the bonus pool. This is literally divided up in that 7-day window that it's like 7 days and 8 hours or whatever it is, from Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern until 7 days later, which I believe is Saturday at midnight Eastern. So it's like, what is that? 7 days, 9 hours long. The bonus pool is from that time period right there. The people that earn bonus points in that bonus pool are only involved in pre-launch, right? So that's the first part of it. And I think I just said that extremely confusingly because I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're both kind of talking in circles. Let me kind of reiterate that again. First and foremost, what I do want to say that I don't think that we've actually said yet, is there is going to be a bonus pool from the moment pre-launch starts to the moment pre-launch ends. That's going to be the extent of that particular bonus pool. After that time, we're going to have a bonus pool. We're not sure the exact time, if it's going to be a week or a month or what it's going to be exactly. It's going to fluctuate from time to time. But the main thing that you guys need to realize is that there is going to be a bonus pool.
Forever,
for one. And there's going to be a bonus pool starting this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that each and every one of you who come into the Freedom Fighters Network and produce a result, you will get a share of that bonus pool. It's not you might, or you might have a chance, or you might be able to. You absolutely will. If you produce a result during pre-launch, you'll have a share of that bonus pool. Exactly. So that's super cool. The other really cool thing is, guys, this is so key. If you get in during pre-launch at one of the 3 levels, which we're going to say the price points here again in just a moment, right? So make sure you guys got your pens ready. If you guys become a member and get started with one of the top 3 levels in pre-launch, what will happen is every time we do a bonus pool, you will earn double the point, meaning you will earn double the money that you would have ordinarily earned if you didn't get in pre-launch. You will earn double the money that you would have earned if you didn't get involved during pre-launch. It's so important because everybody that's here has the opportunity. See, people are going to look back on you guys and they're going to be like, oh gosh, I really wish I could have gotten in pre-launch. I wish I could get double shares in the bonus pool. They're not going to be able to. It's only you guys that are here right now that actually decide to get started in the Freedom Fighters Network and then participate in our hangout this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time that are going to have that chance to literally double your money every single time we pay out for the bonus pool. How freaking exciting is that? I'm super excited. So hopefully that made some more sense. I know we're both kind of talking in circles, Ben, but
I don't know about you guys, but if you just heard that and you really get that, like, this should leave you not sleeping tonight. This should leave you up creating YouTube videos and doing blog posts and writing emails and like, oh my God, I can't sleep right now. I'm just so excited. We came up with this idea, right? We came up with this idea, me and Angela and our programmer. When we came up with this idea, I was just like, I was literally just like rubbing my face. I'm like, did we really, like, are we dreaming right now? Did we really just create that? Did we really just come up with that idea in the way that we came up with it? Folks, because everyone knows that we've always been about helping the brand new person, right? Because the brand new people are the lifeblood of this business, right? It's easy for any leader to tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's easy, right? I could become a top earner in any company that I've ever gotten involved in, period, right? Because I understand and know marketing, right? It's the brand new people coming in, getting them to stick around that really start to build the teams and really start to create just massive results, right? How much bigger are those bonus pools going to be when you guys have teams in the thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of members? How much more are you going to make when you're when someone that you brought in can actually get results and you're earning 10% of everything they sell, right? How much more money are you going to earn when that happens? It's just absolutely crazy, right? So it's all about the brand new person, but in turn, what that does is it causes it to be about everyone, right? Yeah. It causes it to be about everyone. Right, so it's not just like, hey, the leader, like, forget them. No, you guys are going to make a whole lot more money too because of this, and I know you guys understand this. You guys and gals that are leaders, you understand what we're talking about here. But if you don't, folks, if you don't, it basically means that we're taking more money and we're putting it in your pocket, and you're basically, the incentive is, you know, some people. I love this. I heard this years ago. Someone said some people need incentive to go out there and work harder. Like, they need more incentive. Like, if you earn this bonus money, you're going to go out there and do the work. Well, what if you just, like, you're going to go do the work because you want to earn this money, and that's just kind of like icing on the cake anyway, right? That's always the way I've looked at it. I'm like, I'm going to go earn this money no matter what. Like, I don't need someone to say, hey, you can win $400 for me to go out there and make $10,000. Or, hey, you can earn $2,000 for me to go out there and make $10,000. Like, I don't need someone to tell me. I want to go make $10,000 whether or not I can earn this. The cool thing is you can earn this. It's just like a little bit of icing on the cake. So the price points I did type in here, folks. I think so. If you just got started a few hours ago, I would be confused too.
Yeah,
don't worry about that one, Julie.
We said in the beginning of the Hangout it wasn't going to be confusing if you're new. I think this may have been a little confusing if you're new. So, you know, if you are confused at all, you know, don't feel stupid or anything like that. Clearly, you're just new. And we talked about a whole bunch of different stuff tonight. So what you want to do is probably just watch this Hangout again. If you're confused at all, because we go over quite a few different things, but really what you want to do even more than that to prepare yourself for this Sunday at 3 p.m. is go through those 5 steps if you haven't already. If you just got started, or you got started like literally right before the Hangout started and you started with the Hangout, that's awesome. I'm really glad you're here. You guys should always be on our Hangouts. Don't miss our Hangouts, because unlike a lot of other companies out there, we actually provide a whole bunch of important updates that we specifically only cover on the Hangouts. The only way you can get the information is actually by watching our Hangouts. So it is very important that you're here, but what's really important next is that you actually go through those 5 steps. You follow everything that we tell you to do to a T, because that's how people are making money in their very first week with us. And then you literally set your calendar alarm, whatever you need to set for this coming Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that's when it's all going to go down. And one other thing that I did want to cover, and then you can read off the price points again, or I can, because they're right there. What you guys are going to be able to do, we're going to have various different payment methods. And things. You guys are going to be able to pay with multiple cards if you need to. You know, I remember in other things that I've been in the past, and Jordan's been in the past, it's been frustrating because some of our team members would have, you know, they had money on multiple cards, but they didn't have all the money on one card, and they couldn't get all the money on one card. So here what we've done, and this is why it's taken like a little bit to set up here, is we actually have it programmed within our system. As soon as we just flick the switch to have it go live at 3 p.m., you guys will be able to use as many cards you guys need to be able to make your purchase on Sunday. So with that, the price points here, again, I'll read them off. During pre-launch and pre-launch only, after that, you guys will literally never, ever, ever, ever see these prices again. It's $9.97 for the tier 1, $32.97 for the tier 2, and $65.97 for the tier 3.
Very cool, folks. And so to keep this super simple, let's just go back and keep this super simple. The commission size is 40% on tier 1, 45% on tier 2, and 50% on tier 3 for your personal sales. And then for second tier sales, meaning your team members made those sales, 10% straight across the board.
Perfect.
So super simple.
Yep.
And those commission sizes are going to stay, the percentage sizes are going to stay the same no matter if we're in pre-launch or regular sales or whatever, right? It's going to be 40, 45, and 50%. So tier 1 is 40%, tier 2 is 45%, tier 3 is 50%, and then 10% on your second level commissions, meaning sales that your team members make. Now, my God. So what else do you do to get prepared here, folks? What else do you do to get prepared here? Get the money ready. Right? And I almost just said the name of the company here. Almost messed it up there. Folks, what I was going to say is get the money ready and call your bank or your credit card or whatever, because here's what I know. Anytime that I've gone online and purchased something for $1,000 or more, and oftentimes when I've purchased stuff for way less than that, the sale has not gone through. The process has not actually completed there. Because my bank's like, hey, that's a sale that you normally wouldn't make, or this is something new, or it's, whatever the case may be, they're protecting you, right? Like your bank is protecting you and saying, hey, this is not something you'd normally make. Maybe it's someone who stole your card and we just want to make sure that it's really you that's going to do that. If you call them ahead of time and say, hey, I'm going to be making a purchase on Sunday after 3 p.m. Eastern time for this amount of money, and here's what so you need to know that. I need you to know that because I'm going to be making this purchase at that point in time. Your bank will then jot that down, open it up to make sure that you're all good to go. I would actually verify that with them on the phone and say, hey, just to verify, I want to know that when I go live on Sunday that I can actually purchase this product and I'm not going to run any hassles whatsoever.
Absolutely. The one other thing, I don't think we mentioned it here, and we do have a lot of new people in the Hangout as always, because we've got new blood that's joining us each and every day, literally hundreds of people all the time. What you guys need to realize is that you are only qualified to earn commissions at whatever level you own. So if you own the bottom tier, then you're qualified to earn the 40% commissions of the bottom tier only. Now, if somebody comes through and decides to buy the tier 3, as in the $65.97 product, all you're going to earn is the 40% of the $9.97. Okay, does that make sense? So it's really important to position yourself and make the most money, because like we said in the beginning, it really doesn't matter, if you decide to position yourself for one tier or the other. Your prospects are going to come through. They're going to see the value, and they're going to decide to position themselves in the best way possible. To tell you, a brief story about this, in one of the companies that I was in, I was in at the middle level, wherein I could earn $1,000 commissions, and there was another level above that would allow me to earn $3,000 commissions that I didn't decide to invest in right then in the beginning. And what happened was, literally my first couple of weeks promoting this thing, what happened was I got this email from this guy who hadn't actually decided to get started yet, even in the front end. He was a lead, right? So he'd come through the sales funnel and he was kind of weighing his options and figuring out, what he wanted to do. He'd done a ton of research on the company, and he sent me this long email all about how he had planned on getting started, and he wanted to know if I would recommend him to join at a certain level. He asked me, what level would you recommend that I join in at? I see that this company exists and it's got all these different levels available. And what would you recommend that I join at? So here I am, I'm at the middle level. I'm only able to earn commissions at that particular level. So what do I recommend to him? I say, I think you should join at the middle level.
I remember this one.
because I could only earn commission. If he upgraded to the top level, it was going to pass up to my sponsor in that particular company. So, I didn't really care too much about that. It wasn't money that was going in my pocket, so I wasn't going to recommend that this guy get it. Lo and behold, the guy comes in. I literally watched this happen because I was sitting in front of my email box at the time. It was Christmas time. Okay, guys, like keep in mind, this was literally like, I think it was if I told you the exact date, it would be wrong, right? But I'm telling you, it was like within 2 week time span before Christmas. See, people think like, oh, like you can't make sales during Christmas time. This is what happened. I told the guy not to buy the product, make commissions on it since I didn't own it. And what happened was I was sitting there in front of my email box. I refreshed my email to check my leads because my leads had just started to ramp up at that time where I was getting quite a few leads coming in every day. And what happened was I see like 5 different emails all come in at once, all commission notifications. The 5th one that comes in was congratulations, only this is what it said. You just lost $3,000. That sucks. That sucks. All right. So the bottom line is, I mean,
you know what's really funny about that one is like I remember talking. I heard that she was telling this guy to do this because I was really good. You know, her sponsor was my sponsor too, and I remember talking to him about this, and he was like, yeah, she's got this guy that is looking at everything, but she's not positioned. She's going to lose a commission. And I'm like, dude, people are going to buy it anyway. Yeah, she's going to probably lose a commission on that one. Sure enough, she didn't buy it, and that guy ended up buying it, and she lost the commission, right? Like, I knew that was
I told him not to buy them. I mean, see, this is the funny thing, though. Like, you guys think, like, if you just tell your prospects not to buy, no, they're going to buy. They're going to see the value. And the thing is, too, like, you guys, the way that everything is set up here, don't have to talk to your prospects. You don't have to get on the phone with people. You don't have to do any of that. And so it's literally the case of them coming through the same process as you and them choosing that they want to earn the higher level commission, because people are going to come through the process either way, right? It's you deciding, do you want to earn a $25 commission or do you want to earn a $3,300 commission in pre-launch? It's going to be higher than that after launch. You're going to be able to earn even more money than that after launch. In pre-launch, it's going to be the case of you sitting there, you know, and saying, okay, you know, I'm sending traffic to the sales funnel anyway. I'm sending traffic here anyway. Right now, every customer that I bring in is worth $25. If I position myself at one of these 3 levels, customers that I bring in can be worth $25, $400. I don't remember the middle level because I always forget it. $1,500 roughly in pre-launch, and $3,300 at the top, right? It's literally a case of you doing exactly the same thing. The only difference is the bottom line. The only difference is that you can make a whole lot more money, which kind of brings me to the last thing that I really want to talk about. And then I'm sure Jordan has some things that he wants to talk about for closing thoughts here. But, you know, a lot of people have sent traffic through the Freedom Fighters Network. And a lot of people are like, you know, I've spent X amount of money for a sale and it's going to take, you know, X amount of months to earn that money back on the sale. Well, it really goes back to kind of explain to you why that's kind of the wrong school of thought to be looking at here. It really goes back to the case of earning $25 or being able to earn $3,300. If you spent $100 to make a sale and you're looking at it like, you know, oh my gosh, you know, I'm gonna have to keep this person active for 4 months just to break even. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking that right now because it costs roughly $90 to make a sale in the Freedom Fighters Network. If you use our traffic resources, that's roughly the cost of a sale right now. But what if you are positioned pre-sale, and we don't know the numbers yet, so I'm not going to sit here and say these are the numbers. Well, how would I know? We haven't even pre-launched yet, right? You know, so I'm not going to even give you hypotheticals, but what I'll tell you is this. In the last company that I was in, and Jordan was in, every $25 sale that we brought in was worth over $900 on average, because the people had a chance to buy products anywhere between $25 when they first got started all the way up to $3,500. And in that particular company, the products were not progressive. So it was like $6,000 worth of products that they had an opportunity to buy. And so depending on if the person just bought the $25 product or they decided to spend $6,000 and bought all of the different products, for every $25 sale we made, we earned on average $900. Now, if it cost us $100 to earn one sale, what did that mean? That meant that we were profiting. That meant we were profiting $800. So if you have to spend $100 to get one free sign up, and you're like, my gosh, I have to wait 4 months to get my money back on it. That's the wrong way of looking at it, guys. Keep you broke. What you have to look at is what's called your average customer value, which we don't have a number for yet. We're going to have a number after pre-launch to be able to use in our sales funnels when we actually launch. But I can tell you this, these products are more expensive than the company that Jordan and I were in before. These funnels convert higher, way higher than the company that Jordan and I
have ever been in.
Yeah, than any company that we've ever been in before. So to think that you're gonna have to wait months, to recoup your investment on traffic, guys, that's not the case. What you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to figure your average customer value after we go into pre-launch. You're going to get the product, you're going to see your team members, you're going to get all these numbers together, and you're going to be able to say, and we're going to be able to say as a company, this is what happened, guys. And you're going to be able to say, if I spend $100, I can get $800 back. I can get $2,000 back. And how many times are you going to want to be spending $100 every single day? Well, as many times as you can, right? That's why we have our traffic resources that are so far widespread that we're not going to cap out, at least not anytime soon. I can't say never, because you can never say never about anything, but we do have like loads and loads and loads of traffic available for you guys, of people that are very interested in opportunities like this. They've already raised their hand. Many of them have already bought a product in our industry because they're looking for a way. They're looking for a way to finally be successful. And I'm telling you guys haven't figured it out yet. This is the way. This is the way. It's so easy here, guys. I mean, I envy you if this is your first opportunity. Like, you don't have to struggle like I struggled. You don't have to struggle like Jordan struggled. You can actually have a legitimate opportunity here to make enough money in the next couple of months to quit your job, to make enough money in the next couple of months to stay home with your family. I mean, how cool would it be if at the first of the year this year, when everybody's going back to work, Christmas holiday and New Year's and things, and all of your friends and your family members are like all disappointed because they're like, the holiday's over, now I have to go back to work. What if you were able to say, a couple months ago, I made a new decision. A couple months ago, I was on a hangout with two crazy hippie people that I didn't even know at the time. But a couple months ago, I just trusted that they actually knew what they were talking about because they've been in this position before. And I decided to get started. I decided to go all in. I decided to make sure that over the next 2 months, I spent every moment that I had learning what I needed to know in order to be able to set my future up, right? Wouldn't it be cool if in 2 months from now, you're able to look back and say that? There's a lot of people sitting here right now with us in this hangout that are going to be able to say that. I can promise you that. The question is, are you going to be one of them? Right? The question is, are you going to be able to run with us? The question is, have you gotten started yet? If you haven't, click on the button down below. Go ahead and pass it back over to you, baby, for some closing thoughts.
Yeah, I've got some closing thoughts, and I've also got a little bit of training here for some people.
Awesome.
First off, man, lots of people are just super excited. But I love this comment here. John, by the way, Angela and Jordan, the people you now have on customer service are awesome. And folks, here's the thing. We had them on customer service like 2 months ago. And that's at that point in time, people are like, oh my God, they're awesome, right? And they were. They've been awesome all along.
They've been awesome all along.
They've been awesome all along. The difference was we brought in someone else to be our CSO, Chief Support Officer. And, they basically told us that they had all this, they've been doing this for so many years, had all this stuff in place. Bottom line was they sucked.
Yeah,
and they messed up our customer service. The people that we had with us back then, we were getting very similar comments back then. People like, your customer service is awesome, right? Well, we have the same people, but we got rid of all the bad apples, right? We got rid of all the BS and whatnot. And really soon, folks, we're going to be going back to some live chat, meaning you guys are going to be able to get your questions answered live, in person, chatting with people. That's my favorite kind of customer support.
Yeah.
If I have to call in on the phone and wait on hold, like that irritates. On the other hand, I can literally pop up a thing, start typing, and then go off and do my thing, and all of a sudden they're there, and I hear this ding. I'm like, okay, now it's time for me to go back and chat with customer support. Like, that is exciting to me because it allows me to still be productive. So
that's awesome.
Thank you for noticing that.
Yeah, thank you guys all for noticing that, because I've actually been getting private messages and people just letting me know that the customer service is much better, which, if you guys have been around since the beginning, you know that like I've been like trying to get the customer service thing worked out. And like Jordan said, we fell into the trap of trusting people that you shouldn't trust, right? Like I just figured, these people, they said they were better than me. I assumed they were because I've never really done customer service before. Here again, marketer before company owner. I didn't know that I was going to be a company owner. I didn't sharpen my customer service skills, but now 3 months in, I do feel that we are on track to be a company that has the best customer service out there, which is what we want. We want you guys to be able to have live chat with our reps. We've got a team lead that's amazing. We've got tech support that literally is in there all the time now, making sure that technical questions are answered, because it's important. You know, if you guys stumble upon a technical glitch, we want to make sure that that's handled. And now it is handled, and it's handled the same day. All tickets are answered the same day, unless it's like a ridiculously complicated ticket that might take tech support like, you know, an extra day or so to look into. They're all answered the same day, which is really, really cool. So thank you guys all for noticing. That's super, super exciting that we're starting to get those comments again. I was really getting tired of the, oh my God, your support's awful comments. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it too, folks. I get it. Like there's, you know, to me, having good quality customer support is key. And it's something that we wanted from day one of launch. You know, we launched with 24/7 live chat support, only to realize that we were not in a, like, we didn't have the proper people trained in order to do that, to have 24/7 live chat support. We had people literally making up answers. And that's kind of what happened again when we went back to phone support. There was people literally making up answers. Like they just like, I think this is the answer, blah. And you're like,
meanwhile,
where
Jordan
did
and
you
I.
get that one from? Oh my God, it was crazy. So we're so glad to be away from that. We're so glad to literally be on top of it. Tickets are cleared out every day. People are caught up every day. People are getting their questions answered. Things are being handled. It's absolutely awesome to watch. And we're going to be moving further and further along to having, you know, live chat support, and eventually people that are going to be on, maybe not 24 hours a day, but enough hours of the day to make sure that there's always support there. And we're just going to keep growing it. We're going to keep growing it. So
Yeah.
the last thing I wanted to get into here, and let me grab a drink of water really quick.
You always remember to do that. I'm sitting here talking dry mouth the whole time.
Is, well, you know, the thing is, this is a desert climate. I didn't know this moving here. Fort Collins is a desert climate, and it's really dry here. You know, I mean, with the exception of like, there's like 1 in 15 summers, I guess, where there's a lot of rainfall. This was one of those. Hence, like the river flooding at the beginning of the season and all that stuff. The river rafting was pretty cool this summer.
Oh my gosh, awesome.
You know, lots of rain, so it was really cool. But it's a really actual dry climate, and so you know, so something I've become used to, drinking an absolute insane amount of water. Also, when I talk and get excited, when I keep talking really fast, I start saying the words wrong and all this stuff. And I think you guys would appreciate it more if I'm like, hey, let me take a drink of water. And then I'm not spitting weird words out of my mouth, which I tend to do all the time. So let me know what you let him know. I'm about to let you guys know this live because this is such an important thing, folks. There's a lot of people out here, you know, and I know you're not the only one. You're just, you know, you guys are the two that literally just literally posted it publicly here saying, you know what, this sounds awesome, but I don't have the kind of money to get involved even at the lower level of the $9.97, right? Like I want to get the discount, yeah, rather than paying $14.97, I want to pay $9.97. I want to get that discount, but I just don't have the money, right? And the simple answer is this, and then we're going to get into some real stuff, solutions on how you get there. You're focused too much on the what and not the why. You're focused on the fact that you don't yet have $997. And the one thing I know that successful people do is rather than saying, oh my God, I don't have that, it's just out of the question for me. And there's nothing wrong with being there. I've been there, folks. I was there for $40. You know, I'm like, I don't have $40 in 3 weeks. I don't know how I'm going to come up with this, right? Like I've been there. I was freaked out years ago. After I had spent $20,000, I was getting involved in a system. It was $1 to try, and it was $47 or $49.95 a month after that. And I was like, I don't know where I'm going to come up with the $49.95 in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it was, right? I was so focused on the fact that I didn't have $49.95. And then when I finally focused on, well, how do I get that? How do I come up with that money, right? Well, in that instance, it was really simple. Just get in and start producing results, right? And you'll come up with the money. But now how do we actually shift a larger sum of money? You know, $1,000 is, it's kind of crazy that literally most people in the world do not have $1,000 sitting around, right? And what they mean by that is, I don't have $1,000 literally sitting right here for me to just go do something with. I could get it from somewhere, but I'd have to go do some things. Most people don't know what those things are to go do, right? Most people have no clue what those things are to go do. The truth of the matter is this: if you want it bad enough, you will figure out a way to make it happen. You just got a shift of saying, I don't have that money and I can't come up with it, to saying, how do I? How do I? Now let's come up with some of those solutions. Well, first and foremost, take out a piece of paper right now. Take out a piece of paper. And can I use this?
Yep.
You need a pen and a piece of paper. And it works better if you're writing it down, folks. Why? Because pen to paper, and I can't read my writing. I can read my writing. Angela can't read my writing. Most other people will be like, what kind of C? Whatever. I can read it. I know what it says. That's all that matters. If you can read your writing, you know what it says. That's all that matters. So what you want to do is just write this down with me. I, and then fill in your name. So blank, fill in your name. I, Jordan Schultz, am getting started. I almost said the name again. With
you guys are going to love the name.
The Freedom Fighters Network. Top tier. At the whatever level, first level, second level, third level. So if you want to get in at the top level, but you're like, I don't know how to come up with $6,600. Trust me, it can be done, folks. It can be done.
Right, like maybe you have the money for the bottom or the middle level, but you're thinking, I really want to position myself at the top level so I can earn those high level commissions and then also not have to pay more later on to be able to be at that level. And also be a
part of that bonus.
Right, and then also be a part of that bonus as well. So maybe you have the money for the bottom or the middle level, still go through this exercise with Jordan. I'm telling you guys, this stuff works. This stuff really, really, really works if you guys actually follow it. So go through this exercise. You can choose whatever level you want to be at, but go ahead and fill that number in right there.
So I'm going to go ahead and say the third level. I, Jordan Schultz, am getting started with the Freedom Fighters Network top tier at the third level on what's the Sunday's
9th.
date? November 9th.
Mm-hmm.
On Sunday, November 9th. On Sunday, November 9th. Period. I will come up with the $6,597, or again, level that is for you, whatever amount of money that is for you.
So it's either $997, $32.97, or $65.97.
Yep. So I will come up with the $6,597 by, and then you literally put a colon there. Now here's what we do next, folks. And this part is just so exciting because, if I were to go to Bill Gates, and I want you to think about this for a second. If Bill Gates had a $1 million business idea, right? Or say a multi-million-dollar business idea, or probably a multi-billion-dollar business idea, whatever.
Multi-billion-dollar at this point, probably.
Say Bill Gates had a multi-billion-dollar business idea, but he had lost everything. He didn't have Microsoft. He didn't have money coming in. He literally was bankrupt, broke, zero, nothing. But he had this idea that would literally go on to make him billions of dollars. And he knew the only thing he had to do was come up with, say, $1 million in the next month or the next 2 weeks or whatever it was. Do you think he'd come up with it? Yeah, he would, right? Like, I'm going to answer that question for you. Yes, he would. Why? Because he thinks differently. See, a lot of people look at the money being spent, the $997 being spent, as like a loss. They say, oh my God, like I'm spending that money. Spending it like you're buying a sandwich that you're going to eat and then it's just gone forever. Or like you're spending it like you're just throwing the money away, right? Look at it as, if I'm coming in at the $997 level, right, I can then earn $400 commissions. Well, that's only 3 sales and I'm already in profit. Right? But then I get to earn those commissions again and again and again and again. If I come in at the middle level, I can earn $1,500 commissions, and that's at the pre-launch. Those commissions are going to go up once we get into actual launch mode, right? I can earn this level commissions, right? It's seeing the ability to earn more money, not just once, and not having to pay that ever again and again and again and again, but having the ability to make those sales and earn those commissions over a very long period of time, to be able to earn tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, right? people that think like an entrepreneur, they don't look at something and say, oh my God, I'm literally just like, it's like me throwing this money away. They say, this is me doing something right now so that I can earn so much more later. And then I never have to think about this again, right? Then I don't have to worry about this anymore. You know, a lot of people are so focused on the short term and the right now, you know? And so what I want to share with you really quick, folks, and some of you have heard this story before. Some of you have heard this story before. There have been times in my life where I've been in positions just like I either choose to make it or I choose to run away and hide, right? I either choose to move forward or I choose to run away and hide. And every one of those positions I've been in has been because of money. It's been because of lack of money, right? It's been because I didn't have the money. Well, you're into my business, 12 months into my business, all of my credit cards are maxed out. I'm making less than $900 a month at my job. Those hours literally just got cut almost in half, meaning I went from $900 a month to like $600 a month. And some people are like, yeah, that's BS. You're lying to me, Jordan. You were making more money than that. Angela saw my tax return for 2010. She saw my tax return. She's like, you weren't, when she saw that, because we had to pull it out to show some bankers a couple months ago, and she's like, that wasn't a lie? She thought, you know, like, because
I thought it was an over-exaggeration. I didn't think you were lying.
Most marketers out there, they'll tell you stories about stuff that's not really true. And when you come down to the root of it and you find out what their story really was, it's like, yeah, you know, I was broke, but really they had like $200,000 in a 401k over here.
Well, I'll tell you what I thought, like, and I know that there's a lot of what a lot of other people think too. When you say you make $900 a month, like waiters and waitresses make $900 a month, right? But then they make like another $3,000 a month in tips. Like that's what I thought. So I thought he was using the $900. It's actually really unlike you. I should have known that you wouldn't over exaggerate like that or under exaggerate. Actually making,
yeah,
and then it got
I didn't get tips.
Yeah, and he started a business on that.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't get tips, and he started a business on that. So sorry, go ahead.
So folks, I was losing money in my business. My credit cards were maxed out, and I was barely making enough money in my job to even pay for like gas and you know, I actually smoked cigarettes at the time, like a pack plus a day. I was drinking a 6 to 12 pack of beer every day. Me and my girlfriend at the time, we'd smoke cigarettes and drink beer, and some nights we'd go out. But every day we were smoking and drinking, and like the money I was making was not enough to afford all that stuff, right? Like I was that broken. And I remember like coming to the point where I'm like, I need to do something. I need to do something different. Like, because I have two options at this point. The first option is this. I can shut my business down because that's literally like it's losing money. So I cannot afford to go on like this for more than another week or two. Right? Like I cannot afford to go on losing money in my business for more than another week or two. I am losing money, a lot of money. I can shut my business down. I can go get a second job and start working. And I can start to pay off this debt that I've accrued here in my credit cards, which at whatever rate, making $10 an hour or less in the jobs that I was qualified in, I would have literally like, it would have taken me 5-10 years to pay off that kind of debt, right? It would have been insane. I'd have been living in my dad's basement probably till now. My dad and stepmom would have been sick of me by now. You know, like they would have just been like, can't wait to get you out of here. Go live in the doghouse, dude. Come on, you know, like, now my parents love me. They wouldn't have made me do that, but it would have been, you know, I can't imagine being 30 and still living in my parents' basement. I could imagine, you know, if I ever had to like, you know, sacrifice a little, go back and live in their basement for a few months, start a business and whatever, like that would happen if that ever had to happen, which it won't. But I can't fathom like still being there because I have jobs and I can't afford to be out on my own, right? And so I said, I can either close up my business, I can either start closing up my business, or I can literally make something happen, right? I can literally figure out a way to get enough money running my business to make sure that I can literally get down, get to work, and move my business forward, right? Well, I had one way of doing that. It wasn't from working more hours at my job because A, they weren't there. And really, you know, working a $10 an hour job, how many hours would I have to work in a month in order to make up enough money to cover the cost of my business? I would have to work another $100 to $200 a month, which is that really possible? Not really, you know, not really, right? So I knew that I had to do something different. I knew I had to think differently. I didn't know exactly what way that was yet, But I said, okay, I have to come up with the money in order to fund my business because this is my dream. My dream is to have a successful business. My dream is to be able to continue paying for the business that I currently have and really getting to work and making this thing happen. My dream is to be able to quit my job. My dream is to be able to move out of my dad's basement. My dream is to be able to move across country and start traveling the world and going on vacations and going to concerts. My dream is that someday when I have a family, I'm not going to have a job that gets in the way of me seeing my kids grow up, of me going to holidays with my family, of, you know, like I remember holidays spent where I would look at my grandparents and my aunts and uncles and whoever else on the other side of the buffet table because I'd be back there cooking and carving food and whatever else. I'd be the one serving all day for 15 hours on Easter Sunday. I'd be working almost every single holiday while they were enjoying themselves, and it sucked. It was awful, right? To miss birthdays, to miss holidays, to not be able to travel and see family, to miss all this amazing stuff. I said, I am done with that. I am ready for something new. The only way that's going to happen is if I make this business succeed, right? The only way that's going to happen the way I want it to happen is when I make this business succeed, right? To me, getting some job where I'm making $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year, but working 60 to 80 hours a week, and literally having 1 to 2 weeks of vacation a year, that wasn't freedom to me. I said, I want freedom my way. The only way I can do that is if I create my own business. So I knew that was the key. And here's what I did to make that happen. And here's where you're going to want to take some notes, folks. These will start to give you some ideas. Do it by getting a job. What can I do? That's legal, that's ethical, all this stuff. What can I do? At that point in time, I had some skill sets. I could actually like develop Facebook fan pages, right? I could like put together fan page tabs and different things of that nature. I could build some different technology. I could put people's blogs together on like WordPress, right? And I started marketing those services to my list of leads, right? I started marketing some of those services. I had a few people take a bite on that. You know, I made a couple $100 doing that. Now some of you are like, hey, I don't have those skill sets, Jordan. I don't know how to put together a blog. I don't know how to do this. Okay. So then I said, okay, I've got this amazing entertainment center. Amazing entertainment center. I spent literally 5 years of my life buying surround sound receivers and speakers and DVD players and digital projectors and big screens and all sorts of sound systems, record players, video game stuff, all this stuff. I spent 5 years building this stuff up, making sure that I bought all the best quality, right? Making sure that I bought all the best quality because I would literally go for like birthday and Christmas one year and I would get a receiver, right? Like that would be my gift from everything and it would just be a receiver. And then I would go and I would save up. My first DVD player was like $500. You know, I mean, some people are like a DVD player for $500, for like $13. You know, you can get them for like, and if they even, you know, they're going out of business here too. But like just all this stuff that I had built up and saved up, and I looked at it and said, you know, I spent 5 years of my life building this thing up. And I love it. I love being able to play video games. I love being able to watch movies. I love having my TV and all this other stuff that I have. But here's the thing. I can either have all this stuff now, or I could sell it right now for some instant cash and I could go achieve my dreams. I could go build a successful business. And then guess what? Then I can move out of my dad's basement. Then I can quit my job. Then I can move cross country. Then I can start going on vacations. Then I can buy a new TV. Then I could buy a better surround sound system. Then I could buy a better whatever, right? I started to realize all these things. I literally at that moment said, okay, here. Okay, I got my bed. I got my dresser. I have my computer and my computer desk. I have all this other stuff, right? I started looking at all this other stuff I had. I said, I don't really need any of that stuff, right? Like if I could get rid of all of that stuff right now and I could go become successful, I can go buy all new stuff that's even better. Would I be happier? Well, yeah, right? See, some people look at their possessions and they think it's like a part of them, right? Like this possession, like this is, I'm a part of this, right? The truth of the matter is this, folks, the possession is not what brings you the happiness. What the possession can do for you, like how you get to use that possession. And you don't get excited by just sitting here and looking at a TV sitting in the corner. That doesn't excite me. But right, when I have the free time and the money to go buy like better stereo systems and like bigger TVs and, you know, more expensive movies and all this other stuff, when I have the money to be able to afford to go do all that stuff, it's the pleasure that comes from it. It's not the money that gives me the pleasure. It's what I get from that money, what I'm able to do because of that money that gives me the pleasure. So if I could literally go right now and say, hey, I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff, get some instant money in my pocket now, invest into my business, invest into my future, go out there, bust my ass and achieve my dreams, well, then it'll be worth it. Now, folks, I've done this exercise with people And what you want to do right now is start to write a list down of different things you can do, right? Different things you can sell. Can you go donate some blood? I don't know. I don't even know if, depending on where you live and if you're eligible and whatnot, can you go do different things like that? Can you start to think outside of the box and write some of these things down? Could you go donate some blood this week? Could you sell your TV this week? Would it upset you if you had to go a week without watching a specific TV show, or 2 weeks or a month without watching a TV show in order to get your business going? Could you sell, do you have a bike? I've had people sell motorcycles. I've had people sell guns. I've had people sell guitars. I had one guy, he's like, Jordan, I've been playing this guitar for 20 years now. Like, this has some of my soul in it. But you know what he said to me? He said, right after I realized that, I said, you know what? I'd rather be able to provide for my son. I'd rather be able to create a business where I can actually take care of my son. I'd rather provide a good life for him. That's what excites me more. Well, guess what? He's not in the company that I'm in right now, but he's doing what we taught him back then, and he's living a very good life right now. He's successful in the industry that he got started in. Why? Because he had the vision to go out there and think differently and do things. He had the ability and the willingness to do things other people wouldn't do. Some people will look at this and they'll say, I'm not going to sell my TV. I'm not going to sell my video game system. I just bought that PlayStation 4. I'm not getting rid of that thing. Whatever, right? Sell it. Sell it. I promise you, you could buy a PlayStation 4 5 months down the road, or 3 months down the road.
Or a month down the road with these commissions.
Or whatever. And it's not going to matter, and you're going to look back. And here's the thing that happens, folks. Start to write some of these things down that you can do, right? And you might start to think outside the box. Leave blanks here. Fill out 50 blanks. Come up with 50 ideas on things you can do to come up with money now, right? Where you're not trading like, hey, I'm going to go work in a restaurant for 5 hours and make $20. Like, that's not going to be $600, right? That's not going to get you there. But going out there and getting rid of something.
I've got an answer for a couple of those, so go ahead with yours.
How can I go out there and do something different to come up with the money, right? I promise you, if you start looking around your house, you'll start to notice things, right? You'll start to see different things that you can go get rid of. You'll start to realize, I really don't need this. I really don't need this. I remember at that point in time too, I literally had boxes full of clothes, right? Boxes and boxes full of clothes. And I'm like, well, I know I haven't worn this shirt in 4 years, but I really like it, right? I really like it. Well, no, you know what I really liked? I really liked the $7 that shirt brought me, because by selling 50 of them, I was able to come up with enough money. And folks, 9.5 months later, I quit my job, and I've been job free ever since. 9.5 months after I did this, I've been job free ever since, right? Now, I remember at this point in time, people, family members, friends looking at me. They were literally watching me starting to sell my DVDs. They're like, dude, you're literally selling everything you own. Like, we're gonna put you so far in debt, but you're also gonna have nothing. You're gonna have nothing left but like a shirt, a pair of pants, your computer, and your bed. I'm like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. You see, when I made that decision, and I literally went out there and did those things that most other people won't do, I showed the universe, I said, I'm not giving up on this thing. I'm doing whatever it takes to make it happen. And all of a sudden, everything is different. And it's not just the universe that changes, it's you that changes. It was me that changed. You see, the moment I did that, my commitment level, my conviction shifted, because all of a sudden, and here's why people can't see themselves doing it. And here's why it's so important to go do that anyway, right? This is so much more powerful than some of you might realize right now. When you go do this, your belief level shifts, because someone who doesn't believe would not do it, right? Someone who's like, hey, I'm going to go sell this, but it's not going to work anyway. They'd be like, well, then why would I sell it, right? They won't sell their thing because they don't believe that that they can actually go out and make money with this thing. I promise you, when someone says, okay, I'm selling my TV, whether you realize it right in the moment or not, all of a sudden, you now believe it can happen. All of a sudden, you now believe you can do it. All of a sudden, you now believe that you're going to get in here and kick some butt and make some money in this business, and you're going to go out there and make it happen. And guess what? When you have that belief, when you have that conviction inside of you, that is what you need. That is what most people are lacking on why people can't make money, because they don't believe they can make it happen. So they don't even take the action steps necessary, right? They're like, oh, why even try? Why am I even going to try and swing this bat? Because I'm not going to hit the ball anyway. Why am I even going to try and swing this club? Because I'm not going to hit the golf golf ball anyway? Why am I even going to post something on Facebook? Because no one's going to want to buy from me anyway, right? When that conviction happens, when that belief level shifts, all of a sudden you're out there saying, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And I'm so excited I'm a part of it. You got to learn about this thing. You now have belief and conviction, and people around you see that and they're like, what changed in you? All of a sudden they want to work with you. All of a sudden they're excited to know what it is you know, because they're like, I don't even know. We a couple years back, they're like, I don't even know what this person is selling or what they're doing, but here's what I notice is they all of a sudden have confidence in themselves. They all of a sudden believe in themselves. That to me is enough to want to get involved in whatever it is they're selling, because that's what shifted. All of a sudden they have belief and they're like a more exciting human being to be around, and they're like, they believe in themselves. They're fun to be around. It's exciting to be around this person now. Whatever they did, I want in on that, right? Whatever they had to do to get there, I want in on that. I'll buy into this thing, right? I'll buy into this thing. Folks, make up a list of 50 things and fill it out. Spend the next hour filling that stuff out, right? Your subconscious will start to come up with things. Take the ideas that I gave you. Sell your TV. Some of you might have like an extra car sitting around. Some of you, it might be like, hey, if I had to sell my car, yeah, we'd have to carpool to work or do a little things, and it might make it a little more difficult for a few months. But would it be worth it? Yes, it would, right? Would it be worth it when you go out there and you make so much money and you change your life that all of a sudden you have a brand new car instead of driving that junker that you were driving before, or whatever car you didn't, Think outside the box. What do I have right now that I don't necessarily need, that when I go and make a ton of money in my business, I can go buy again, only better and bigger, right? And more quality. What is that? Sell all that stuff. Get rid of it all. It's absolutely insane. It'd be insane, in my opinion, not to, right? It'd be absolutely insane not to. When you see a business opportunity like this, and you have the ability, you guys see it clearly. You're like, how do I come up with the money? You're telling me I want to know how to come up with the money. That's how. So make that list of 50 things, fill it out, and then 3 to 5 to 10 times a day, however, literally as often as you can think of, stand up and say out loud, I, Jordan Schultz, am getting started with the Freedom Fighters Network top tier at the 3rd level on Sunday, November 9th. I will come up with the $6,597 buy, and then look over your list. Now, here's the other important thing, folks. Go do those things. Go list those things on eBay. Go list those things. Go offer your services. Go do these different things, right? Borrow money. You'd be surprised how many times I've been able to borrow $500. I remember going to my dad one time, and I said, Dad, I'm getting in on this business. I'm getting in on this business. I'm making it happen. I am short by, it was like $500 at the time. I don't have $500 to get in on this business. Here's what I know. There is a loud train going by. Here's what else I know. I told my dad, I said, Dad, here's what I know. I'm going to make this thing happen. If you borrow me $500 right now, in a month, I will give you $750 back, right? If you borrow me $500 right now, in a month, I will give you $750 back. I've done that with my dad 3 times now. Every single time I've paid my dad back, and with interest. Every single time I've paid my dad back, and with interest, right? Every single time I've done that, I've paid him back with interest. So go out there and pay them interest later, right? A lot of people would be willing to do that. Trust me. If you give them an offer they can't refuse, a lot of people will take you up on that, right? A lot of people will take you up on that stuff, right? So read this out loud 3, 5, 10 times a day, and then go out there and do this stuff. Now, I had a guy in my team years ago, and I already told you about this guy, but he could do this. And he made his list, and he sent me over his list. He emailed me his list. He said, I'm going to do these things right now. He called me 3 days into it, right? It was a 5-day thing. He called me 3 days into it. He's like, man, nothing yet. I haven't made a penny yet. No one's bought anything yet. I said, dude, just trust me. Keep reading this thing. Keep focused on it. Visualize all this stuff going away. Visualize you having the money. Visualize it doesn't matter which one of these things comes into fruition. That's why you're going to go write 50 things down, folks, because it doesn't matter which one of those things comes in. There's so many of them that the money will just show up. Visualize you having that money in a place where you can go spend it. Visualize that money being there so you can spend that money and buy the product that you want to buy. Visualize that happening at that point in time. Visualize it, right? When you do that, I kept telling him, when you do that, the universe acts in mysterious ways. It will come to. Day 4, he calls me. He's like, okay, so I've made $100, but literally tomorrow's day 5, and I don't have the other money. right? And I'm like, trust me, just keep visualizing, keep reading that statement out loud, keep looking at it. Make sure you're doing these things too, right? Make sure you're putting into action, right? And the next morning, he sends me a message like 4 hours before he was supposed to call me. He's like, I'm ready. Money's in the bank. Let's go. I'm like, dude, what happened? He's like, well, I just kept visualizing. I don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden this, and this happened. I'm like, see, you don't need to understand how it's all going to happen, folks. You don't need to understand the how. You need to know the why. You need to visualize and feel that money being there and you getting in on that, and then you going on and achieving the life of your dreams. You need to visualize all that stuff. When all of that is there, trust me when I let go and let God. So you got some thoughts you wanted to add on to this, and then we'll do some closing thoughts. This might be the longest hangout we've ever done.
It's such important stuff, though. You know, guys, if you are sitting there and you're wondering how to come up with the money, like literally replay this section that Jordan just went over and over and over again. Because I promise you, you know, there's a saying where there's a will, there's a way. The saying is true. You know, there's a portion of my story that I don't talk about too often. It's briefly in the sales video. And a lot of you guys are probably like, well, how was it that you were a top earner, and then sales video, you were like, 4 months ago, I was so broke, I couldn't afford my $800 a month rent. I'll tell you, you know, I'm one of these people, you know, and I know there's others of you out here, and I know Jordan's one of them as well, where I've got to hit rock bottom before I can skyrocket again, right? And I've got to absolutely just be in the worst situation ever, like almost homeless, before I can actually go out there and make a bunch of money. And really live whatever dream it is that I'm trying to make happen at the time. So I'll tell you guys how I got into that situation, where literally this past January of 2014, I had been a top earner in multiple previous companies. I had earned 6 figures before. I was a leader in the company. I would show up at company events. I was in the top 50 people, right? But how was it that in January, in a company that I could earn top tier commissions, here I was at rock bottom. I couldn't barely afford $800 a month rent, right? And I was in a situation where I was absolutely at the bottom, and the only way there was to go is up. Like I couldn't go down anymore, right? The only way that there was to go is up. Well, this is how I got myself into the situation. I'll tell you that first. And then I'll tell you how I got out of the situation and how you can get out of the situation if you're in that situation right now, because I can tell you, from multiple experiences in my life, I know how bad that it sucks, and I know how bad you want to get out of it. So going back literally about a year ago now, right? Like around this time last year, I lost my lead source, right? The same time that I lost my lead source, my traffic source, I looked back on my team, and I noticed that even though I knew a lot of other different sources that I could generate leads and rebuild my funnels, and I could literally have everything back up and running within 3 to 4 weeks and be at the same production level and be, you know, earning 5 figures a month again, like pretty much instantly within 3 to 4 weeks. I knew I could do that with my skill sets. What happened was I looked back at my team and I was like, you know what? I'm bringing people into something where I actually believe that they have pretty much almost no chance of succeeding. I have watched literally hundreds of people come into this that I've brought in, that I've promised a dream, that I've promised a way, and they've come into it, and like a couple of them are succeeding. Like I don't want to build my traffic source back. So here I sat, just kind of frozen for a few months. And Jordan and I actually, we just started partying a bunch, right? Because I just like didn't want to think about it. I'm like, I don't want to build my funnels back. I don't want to build my lead source. Continue bringing people into something where I don't think that they're going to succeed. And so my dream changed from, in the beginning when I got started in that company, it was, you know, I want to quit my job as an insurance broker. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to work online. I want to work from home. That was my dream. At the time that I lost my lead source, my dream changed. And all of a sudden I didn't care about the 5 figures a month anymore. What I cared about was actually having a way for my team to succeed. And so what I said to myself was, I'm not going to actually bring people into stuff again, ever again, until I have a way for them to succeed. And so in the midst of me, you know, partying up and down and going crazy for a little while there and not doing much at all, what happened was over the course of a few months, my income dwindled in that company because the residuals there were not high at all, right? I earned most of my money from the top tier commissions that required new sales to actually be coming in, which I wasn't making because I refused to actually get my lead source back. So what happened was in January, I was in a situation where I was literally hardly able to afford my rent in this basement apartment that I had moved into, right?
It was a terrible basement apartment.
Oh my God. I moved from the mountains in a condo to this awful basement apartment. And this is what I did when I moved into the basement apartment though, right? I moved into the basement apartment and, I didn't just, let me actually gather my thoughts here for a second. I'm just thinking back to the situation. It's just, like what happened over the course of the month is crazy. I'll tell you guys here what happened here. Let me just get a drink of water. So I moved in the basement apartment. I don't have anything, right? Because my other place was furnished. A lot of people would say, oh, well, I need a couch. I need furniture. I could have maybe spent, a little bit of money and got like some used stuff. But at the time I was just like, I am really close to fucking rock bottom here. Like I've got to sort this out. I've got to figure out a way where my team can start succeeding, where they can actually start making some money. So what happened is in the basement apartment, I worked my business, and you guys can see this in the sales video, this because I took a picture of it. I had 2 used tables that I bought off Craigslist, right? Because they were cheaper than all of the desks that were listed on Craigslist because it was just 2 tiny little end tables that were like, triangle, like this big, right? That's easier to see, like that big. So I had these 2 end tables. I had my laptop. I wasn't going to sell that because I needed it to actually build the business back in a way where my team could succeed, right? And I didn't even buy a bed, right? So some of you guys, I can almost all but guarantee every single one of you guys here has a bed. I did not have a bed 10 months ago. I slept on an air mattress. The basement apartment that I moved into, it was cheap for the reason that there was no freaking heat. Right? there was no heat. So I had a heated blanket.
There was actually no thermostat in the basement.
There was no thermostat either. The people upstairs, oh my gosh, they were awful. Like their dog, I actually really like dogs, but the way that this place was structured, you could hear everything. And this dog would run from like one side of the house to the other, like seemingly like all the time. And here I was like trying to figure out a way and trying to like build a business back and figure out an idea. And I've got this like all day long in this freaking cold basement apartment in the middle of January in northern Colorado, after having succeeded, I mean massively succeeded on multiple different occasions in the past, in multiple different businesses. I was a top earner in insurance. I was always a top earner in insurance. That was one business that I came into, and pretty much like literally my first week, I was one of the top producers above the people that have been there forever. I was not accustomed to this lifestyle in any way, shape, or form. I was sleeping on an air mattress. I've got my heated blanket, and the only possessions that I owned, this is literally like 11 months ago, guys. This is not that long ago. I am now the co-founder of the Freedom Fighters Network. That's how fast things can change. That's how fast things can change when you believe in something and you're willing to do whatever it takes. 11 months ago, I sat with my air mattress on one side and my 2 end tables and my laptop, right? And I figured out a way. A few months later, I had a $63,000, had a way for my team to succeed. It wasn't money just that I just collected from everybody, right? I had a way for my team to succeed. And then we came out with the Freedom Fighters Network, and then there was a really big way for people to succeed. And so it really all has to do with your dream. It has to do with how much do you want it, right? I wanted my team to succeed at that time way more than I wanted money. As you guys can see, I could have built my business back very easily. I didn't want to. I wanted a way for my team to succeed because I knew if I built my business back, I'd still be in the same position of just bringing a bunch of people into something where they weren't going to succeed. And I didn't want that. So if this is your dream, if your dream is to be able to stay home from your job, if your dream is to be able to stay home with your kids, if your dream is to be able to travel more, to be able to provide those memories and experiences and things like that for your family, if this is your dream, all I can say is do the exercise that Jordan just told you to do because it works, right? And you will find a way. One of the biggest reasons why we did this hangout tonight and why we told you guys the price points ahead of time is because we know that not everybody out there has this amount of money just at their disposal sitting in their back pocket, right? And we wanted to give you guys an opportunity to be able to come up with it because we know that every single one of you can come up with it. I mean, how many people here have a bed? right? I didn't have a bed 11 months ago. I got a bed later on, right? I have a bed now. We have a bed now. Jordan shared his bed with me. That being said,
you bought a super nice mattress like a month later.
Yeah, because we were together back then. But that being said, you know, if there's a will, there's a way. That's the bottom line, guys. And I know that, you know, there's a lot of, I saw a couple of different people in the comment stream like, oh, I failed at things before. Well, so have I. You know, there's a saying that says, if you don't quit, then you can never fail. So, you know, are you going to be the person that's standing up saying, well, I failed at all these businesses before and now that's the reason I work a job? Or are you going to be the person that says, I failed at all these businesses before, but I kept trying and I kept pushing forward towards my dreams, and because I did that, now I don't have to have a job, right? If you don't quit, you can never fail. You're going to continue in this industry and you're going to make a lot of money, because this is the one thing that I've come to find out, and I don't have any kind of guarantee attached to this, right? But what I can guarantee you is this: in the past, as I've come through this industry and I've met different people in this industry, the people that stick in this industry make money. You know, I've not met, I don't know of anyone actually that's been in the industry for as long as I've been in the industry and doesn't have at least, you know, a high enough level of success to not work a job. You know, so like, it's like the trade-off, like 6 years in an industry, 4.5 of which you're like spending a bunch of money trying to figure it out. In my case, you know, in the Freedom Fighters Network, you're not going to have that. Like, I can pretty much guarantee you're not going to have that, because we have stuff that works here. But it's like like, would you be, if you had to spend 6 years, would you? I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, wouldn't it make sense for you to spend a little bit of time, 6 years of time, to be able to live a lifestyle that's so far beyond the wildest imagination? Anybody, I mean, seriously, guys, like, look at it like this. It's a different way of thinking. It's a belief shift, though. You guys have to believe that it can work for you. And the way that you can believe that it'll work for you, if you're sitting there saying, well, nothing's ever worked for me before, it doesn't matter if nothing's ever worked for you before. If you're looking at this and you see this working for somebody else, which you do, because this is working for a lot of other people, right? If this is working for somebody else, what that says is that it can work for you. If somebody else can do it and all they're doing is just sending traffic, right, then you can do the same thing. It can work for you. There's no reason that you can't have success here. The only reason you wouldn't be able to have success here is if you just don't take action. So just take the action and get involved with the Freedom Fighters Network. Click the button down below if you're not already a member. Get started with our community and be on the Hangout live on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because what we're about to unleash here is about to change everything for a lot of people. I'm super stoked. I don't really have much else to say. If you want to have anything that you want to say before we close up here, babe.
Yep. I just had to quick post something on my Facebook wall. Hold on a second. I love what John Montague said here, and forgive me if it's Montague. I apologize. I think it's John Montague. But you know, he said, I used to say to myself when I got these hangouts, why are these dang things so long? Now I say, don't stop, keep going, keep going. And you know, that's a powerful shift. I remember years ago, I went to a live event. Some of you have heard this before. I went to a live event, and I remember walking up to one of my mentors, someone who didn't know me from Adam. He kind of knew me because I had emailed him on Facebook and said, oh my God, that thing you taught me was awesome. And he used my results in an email one time, but I really don't. He's like, who are you again? And I'm like, yeah, it's me. And he's like, oh yeah, I remember you. But I remember walking up to him and I literally just wanted to stand there and follow him around and listen to him talk. Why? Because even if he wasn't sharing a multi-million-dollar business idea with me, he thought differently. Right? He thought differently because he had become an entrepreneur. He thought differently because he had gone through training and he had listened to other successful people. He thought in ways that I didn't think about lots of different aspects of life, which were the reasons why he was so successful in a lot of different areas of his life. Money being one of them, right? Because he thought differently. And I said, man, if I could just, he's like, dude, you just kind of keep following me. What's going on? You know, he even used the word as creepy. And I was like, I don't care if it's creepy. You know, don't worry, I'm not going to like abduct you or anything. I just want to listen to you, man, because you are so successful. And I believe that if I just hear, and I don't care if it has anything to do with business, but I believe if I stand here long enough, I will hear things from you that I couldn't learn otherwise, that will completely shift my mindset, completely shift the way I think, completely shift everything. And I'll become an entrepreneur that much faster, right? And he's like, cool, well then you're not creepy. Like, he instantly got it. He instantly got it. He instantly knew. He's like, that's brilliant, right? That's why you want to do things like listen to these Hangouts again and again and again. Folks, you might listen to the replay of this and you might hear one thing that you didn't hear the first time. And it might just tweak for you. And all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, that just opened. Oh my God, that just opened up a whole new thing for me. I remember one night years ago, I was listening to this audio, and I had listened to this audio, about a 90-minute audio. I had listened to this thing about 5 times, right? This was like the 6th time I was listening to this thing. And it's because I woke up at 3 in the morning and I was like, I can't sleep. Might as well put one of these things on and listen, because I like what this guy's saying. You know, I really like what he's saying. He's got some really profound thoughts. And I remember listening to it and something clicked for me that 6th time that I heard it the first 5 times. My brain wasn't ready to receive it, right? My mind was not ready to receive it. You see, you can watch, think about this, folks. Have you ever watched a movie? How many of you have ever watched a movie more than once? Right? I mean, I certainly have. There's movies I've watched 100 times. Now, how many of you realize that the 2nd, 5th, 10th, 15th, 20th time you've watched a movie, you see it differently the 20th time you did the first time, but also at the same time, you pick up little things that you didn't pick up the first time, right? You pick up, you're like, why would I watch that movie again? Well, all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, that was a mind fuck. That was a mind fuck, you know, let's go for it. You hear things differently, you see things differently, you pick up things, you're like, oh my God, that just changed the whole meaning of this part of the movie. Holy cow, that was amazing, right? Like, oh my God, I just picked up something different. I've seen this movie 15 times, but for some reason, the 16th time, I heard that thing right there, and it just shifted the entire meaning of the whole movie for me. It just changed the whole first hour of the movie for me. Oh my God, that was amazing, right? It's the same thing with what you're hearing here tonight and what you're hearing from not just me and Angela, but when we have other leaders out, when we have other people that have breakthroughs come out, brand new come out, and they've gotten results. I promise you, leaders, you'll hear some things from that brand new person. You're like, oh my God, that was amazing. I remember working in a kitchen years ago, and I was working with a guy who'd been in the kitchen for 40 years. 40 years. I've never seen someone be able to cook steaks and meats and all this stuff. He was an expert grill man. I have never seen someone be able to cook so much food on a grill at once and have it all come out perfect every single time. His grill food all came out perfect. He never, he was not like me throwing steaks at the wall because they were overcooked. You know, it was always perfect, right? And here I am, like 3 weeks into cooking, thinking, what does this guy possibly have to learn from me? But he looks down at me and he says, wait, what did you just do right there? I'm like, well, what do you mean, what did I just do right there? I did this. He's like, oh my God. He's like, do you know if I would have known that 40 years ago, that would have saved me literally 2 hours a week of time? I'm like, whoa, right? Folks, you have to be open to receive, not just from people that you believe are smarter than you, are of the, always be open to receive, right? You might learn from something from someone that's brand new. When you hear them say something, you're like, why didn't I think of that? I've been marketing for 10 years. Why didn't I think of that? This person's been in for 3 weeks, right? Everyone has different experiences in life. Everyone has different mindsets. Everyone has different ways of looking at things and seeing things. And when they might say something in a certain way or show something in a certain way, you're like, I never thought about looking at it like that. Oh my God. Well, why? Because your brain doesn't work that way, right? Or it's not been trained to, or you haven't experienced it that way, whatever the case may be. When you continue to get around successful entrepreneurs consistently, folks, when you surround yourself as much as you can, and you can do that in a lot of ways. You can listen to audios. You can be on Hangouts like this. You can listen to the recordings of Hangouts. You can meet with people live. You can go to live events. We'll have plenty of those, right? All different ways you can do it. You can read books, right? You can watch movies, whatever. All different ways you can go about doing it. And a really cool thing, folks, that I might recommend for some of you, you're like, hey, I don't have time to sit in front of my computer for this. Take this Hangout. Go to there's all sorts of different sites out there. Go Google, how do I turn a YouTube video into an MP3? Go Google that. You will find a website that will allow you to take a YouTube video and send it through and convert it into an MP3. You will find a thing that will allow you to do that. You can take this MP3, put it on your phone, you can listen to this again. Why? We didn't show you anything. We just talked. We're just talking, right? You could listen to this again and again and again and have this stuff pound in through your head and train your subconscious and just pound on your subconscious till all of a sudden, guess what? You're thinking the same way Angela and I are thinking. You're looking, like I remember years ago looking at something and saying, oh my God, $500 is a lot of money. Or oh my God, $100, that's a lot of money to go spend on something. And all of a sudden the shift happened, not because all of a sudden I had the money, but because I said $1,000 is nothing. Well, all of a sudden I started earning that money. Then when I said, hey, $5,000 is nothing, all of a sudden I started earning that money, right? And it's because I surrounded myself with people that looked at that level of money and they said, well, that's not much. $10,000, not much, right? $100,000 a month, not much, right? $50,000, not much. When you start to surround like that, and all of a sudden, like your subconscious doesn't know whether they're standing right next to you or not. So you listen to that enough. You listen to someone else believing their own thoughts enough out loud and saying it with conviction. All of a sudden, you start to believe those same things. You're like, okay, no, I don't have $100,000. I didn't make $100,000 last month. But all of a sudden, you're like, I believe that making $100,000 a month is easy. And when that mind shift happens, right, all of a sudden, you're going up to 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month. As soon as that mind shift happens, as soon as you all of a sudden believe differently, it can happen that quick, right? I struggled with that belief for a long, long, long time. I watched Angela make $60,000 in a month. She's like, Jordan, that was easy. I'm like, you know,
yeah, like 3 months after I can't afford to like pay my rent.
You know?
He's like sitting there. I'm like, look at this.
Yeah, like, that was easy. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, I still didn't believe that was easy, right? Well, what happened? It is easy. It is easy, folks. I tell you what, when you start to believe differently, and that's exactly what you just all of a sudden believe it's easy, you'll do it, and it's easy. And I'm like, holy cow. And guess what? She was right, folks. She was right, because it's been happening like absolute crazy, right? It's been happening like absolute crazy. So, wow, we're going on 3 hours now. And
this is officially the longest hangout that we've ever done.
We do, folks, have to get back together and get some more stuff done. We've got a few more things that we're putting together here, the programming and all this different stuff. We've got some more stuff that we're putting together here. And we got to get ready for, we're doing another hangout tomorrow. We're not sure at exactly what time. We are driving up to Vail. We're going to be staying in a place in Vail tomorrow, checking some cool stuff out. And you'll know more in the future of why we're doing that, and we'll tell you why later. But we're going up to Vail for tomorrow we want to go stay at this really cool place we've been looking at. You know, it's just an absolutely awesome place.
We want to go sledding before we get out to Australia.
Especially because we're leaving, you know, so we've got to hit sledding up before we go to Australia and go away for the next, like, what, 5-6 months or whatever when we're and so we're gonna get up there tomorrow, but we got to get to work. We got a bunch of stuff to get done.
Thank you guys for the comments. Really, really appreciate. You know, I've been, as Jordan's been talking here for a moment, I've been reading you guys' comments. Really appreciate the fact that you guys appreciate us. The bottom line is, you know, we do what we do because of you guys. I just shared my story about me not wanting to continue because I didn't have a way for my team to succeed. We have a way for you guys to succeed. You guys that have been here with us for more than a day, realize that. You guys that haven't been here for more than a day, go ahead and plug in, follow the 5 steps. You'll see this stuff works. The only reason we put it together is because we wanted to have something that finally works, and we do. And we have something that's going to work, I mean, to like the freaking like 20th power here when you see what we're about to unveil on Sunday. You know, I'm not going to say too much more about the products other than we didn't just go out there and create like a product like, okay, this is a $6,500 cup, you know, buy the cup and then you can earn a 50% commission. You know, so many different products are created for the reason that they're just paying out high-level commissions. These products are things that you guys are going to want, whether or not you care about making money. Now, clearly, everybody here does care about making money with the products. You guys are all here because you joined the opportunity. You joined the Freedom Fighters Network for a way to actually create freedom in your life. But there's going to be people that look at this product and say, I want to buy this product because this product is really valuable and I don't even care about marketing. I'm already a millionaire, or I'm already, you know, I already have a job that I love or whatever, and I don't care about earning money. I just want the product because the product is awesome. That's what we put together. That's what you guys, all of you that are active members of the Freedom Fighters Network, you're going to be able to access that hangout because it's going to be in your back office. You're going to need login details and all the rest of it in order to actually get in and see that. But we're going to be unveiling that this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there, and we will see you then. Do you have anything else?
The thing I have is this, folks. If you're not in yet, click the button down below. Get into FFN, Freedom Fighters Network. It's a free trial, 7-day free trial. Get in so you can be on that hangout with us on Sunday. And then most importantly, folks, follow those 5 steps, get everything. It's like literally 45 minutes of setup and marketing and all that stuff. Your marketing is done and everything. Get all that done. And then literally share, like invite people. We're going to be doing public hangouts literally daily leading up to Sunday, right? Daily. Invite your people. Post it on your Facebook the way we show you how. Invite your leads if you have lists of leads. Go out there and go crazy about this thing, folks. Go out there and go crazy about this thing, folks. Because like we said, there's 2 things about the compensation and the bonuses and the discounts and the putting more money in your pocket that we haven't even discussed yet. And we're not discussing until Sunday, right? These 2 ways, and I'm shaking the table here, I'm getting so excited. These 2 ways to put more money in your pocket are so freaking exciting. You think what we've already talked about is exciting. This is going to get people excited, what we're going to talk about here, folks. The things that we're going to talk about on Sunday are exciting. The things that we're going to say are just insanely exciting, and you got to be there live. So get into Freedom Fighters Network, become a member. I tell you what, if you're here now, you've been here for 3 hours with us, and you don't decide to get into a free 7-day trial, or even if you have to pay the $47, right? If you don't decide to get in right now, what have you been doing with us for the past 3 hours? You're just looking in to see what the heck we're doing. Get in, because I promise you this will be the biggest thing that the internet's seen since Freedom Fighters Network launched 90 days ago, right? This will be the biggest thing they've seen, and people will be looking at this and saying, oh my God, I need to be a part of it. Well, those that were a part of it during pre-launch, those that are a part of this during pre-launch, the people that are going to look back and say, oh my God, I wish I would have been there then because of what they gave me and what they incentivized and what they offered. I wish I would have been there then. What? You were there and you didn't even get in on that thing to learn about it? What the heck were you thinking? What were you thinking?
Yeah.
Get in, folks. Get into Freedom Fighters Network. We're doing another hangout tomorrow. Do we know what time yet?
Are we doing that instead of the Freedom League tomorrow? What are we doing tomorrow?
Yeah, we're doing that instead of the Freedom League tomorrow, folks. So it's still gonna be 9 p.m. Eastern, but we're gonna be doing that instead of Freedom League.
So Freedom League's typically at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Freedom League's typically at 8 p.m. Eastern, but we're gonna be spending that time like preparing for this.
Right. Okay. Cool,
we've got some stuff to get together for this tomorrow. We're actually spending 4 hours driving up to Vail tomorrow as well, folks. So, you know, aside from that, the 4-hour drive, all the different stuff we got going on, we got to make sure we have enough time to get everything done in a day. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, same place. Invite your prospects. You see a little thing up above that says ID equals, and then there's a number there. That number is your affiliate ID number for the Freedom Fighters Network. You replace that with your number that you get upon signing up. You don't choose it. You get it. It gets given to you upon signing up. And if you don't know where that is, literally contact support, say, how do I find my affiliate ID number? You'll see it on your dashboard in all the links. You'll see the question mark ID equals and then a number, affiliate ID number, right? You put that in the link up above, and when you invite people here tomorrow or tonight, you get credit. They sign up, they join with you, right? When they click that button down below and get started, they're joining with you. So go out there, get started right now for the 7-day free trial. Bring some people, get some people to this page specifically with your ID number on the end.
We'll send out swipe copy for you, so you guys don't even have to write your own emails. We'll send that out. As long as you're an active member, you'll actually get that email, and then you'll be able to send that to your list. Sorry, I just wanted to reiterate that for people.
So get in, folks. Get ready for this Sunday. This Sunday is going to be absolutely insane. But start building up right now. The more people you have in your team by Sunday, the more money you'll make, right? The more people you have here and excited by Sunday, the more money you'll make, right? This is about to be one of the biggest things the internet's ever seen. I promise you, with what we have going on here, this thing is going to go to the moon. Even more so than what we did in our first 3 weeks with Freedom Fighters Network. Because remember, folks, our goal was never to just bring a bunch of people into a front end $1,000 commissions. Our goal was to help people make $1,000, $3,000 commissions and higher. We have higher commissions after pre-launch, right? Our goal was to help people make big commissions so they can earn big money, right? That was always our goal. It's finally here. It's finally here. It's this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Oh my God, get in. You got to be there this Sunday. We'll talk to you soon.
Night, guys.